Sports fans! Here we go, y'all! IE Sports Radio, as of today, of right this minute, has 4 years old. I'm sorry, 6 years old. I'm so freaking excited like I said the wrong number, but it's alright. You gotta love it, y'all. Starting out the show with a mishap. I'm all about it. Here we go, y'all. Today's show is going to be full of so much energy. You will not be able to attain yourself. I know you might. I don't know. But it's going to be a whole bunch of fun. To think, just 6 years ago today, I sat down right here on my laptop to deliver the very first episode of The Defining Moment, May 15th, 2014. And guess what? Here we are 6 years later, and we are boom! This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. We have 19 total shows, 12 running right now. Gotta work out the kinks, but we got that going on. We are nationwide. That's right. We are from Cali all the way to the East Coast. 30 strong. A PR department. A production department. A booking agent. Oh yeah, he'll be joining me in a moment. A audio visual department. We got a CFO. We got a COO. And ladies and gentlemen, I am Larry B, your CEO of IE Sports Radio. Here we go, y'all. It's incredible to think of how far we have come. And you know something? We're just getting better. This is truly incredible. And I am so excited of what we have been able to accomplish. This has been a complete 100,000,000% team effort. And I am so happy that we could be here today to deliver this show. Because we are IE Sports Radio. 6 years and running. Oh yeah, baby! Y'all know what's up. Tonight is gonna be a whole bunch of sports talk, but about what sports, you may say? COVID took over. COVID thought, we got some sports coming on up, and guess what? We're getting all of our sports coming back soon. I got faith, and that's all there is to it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's gonna be special. Stay tuned. This is our special 6th year anniversary edition of The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I love that track. I love that track. I want to bump that track again. I wish we can just replay it all throughout the show, but y'all get sick of it. It's such a good track, you don't want to burn it out, right? So, with that said, y'all, welcome. Here we are. 6 years in running. Can we just get a hand clap? I mean, thank you. Yes, this has been incredible. What we have been able to do, I would never toot my own horn, toot our own horn into that, but it is awesome what we have been able to do in these last couple of years. And I'll tell you right now, I am so dang excited, so proud of everything that our colleagues here have done, everything that everybody has accomplished through this platform. And I'll tell you right now, we are a team of diehards. We love our sports. We love what we do. And you know what? We have all of you to thank for just being so awesome. So with that said, as I always say, y'all, big ups to the man above. That's right. Big ups to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible, y'all. And hey, big ups to all of you guys out there, because guess what? Tonight's show is all about y'all. You, the people, the listeners, the one who actually make us tick, the ones who make us do our thing, y'all. And we appreciate you so much. And tonight we are going to have call-ins from everybody. We are going to have so many people live. It's going to be nuts, especially in that second hour. Oh my gosh. I didn't know we booked so many people at one time. I got that. And then today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise. That is such a great surprise. That's literally all I'm going to say about it. That is right. Let me tell you right now.
When that surprise comes, Larry, I think it will speak for itself.
Exactly. It will. We have nothing more to say because it's going to be one of the most amazing things to ever happen here on IE Sports Radio. And I don't
think we'll ever have to say anything once this special happens. I don't know that we really have to say much. I think it'll speak. If this surprise will speak for itself and run the show for us.
I agree. I could not agree more. This is going to be very special, and this entire show is just so special because, of course, once again, all of you, the people who make this thing happen, are going to be involved tonight. A lot of you are. And for those of you who couldn't make it, we appreciate you. I want to start things off really quick here with a quick little reading jump. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that for when we come back with our people on air, because it's going to be awesome. When we bring that in, it's going to be awesome. But before we even go into that, I just want to go ahead and bring in my boy, man. Ladies and gentlemen, he is, of course, Daryl calls me the hardest working man at IE Sports Radio, but that title I've given to Daryl every single time he gives it to me. But man, I think we might have to crown a new hardest working man at IE Sports Radio, because this guy right here is the real deal. Ladies and gentlemen, he is our booking agent here at IE Sports Radio. He has made literally almost every one of these guests that we've had in the last nearly 2 months possible. He has been an amazing job, and the guy says he loves to be behind the scenes, but tonight I'm glad that he's right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Jonathan Couch, Crew Chief. What's going on, Jonathan?
Dude, I'm loving life. I'm over here doing my thing. I am working, and I'm just trying to get the best guests for our listeners, because we're all here, we're all stranded in the house, and we're all trying to just get our minds off the normal, or the abnormal as it is. We're just trying to have some fun, and so that's what we're doing. We're looking to take and bring you the best guests, and it's all for the fans. That's what it's there for. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to entertain and help everybody just get through life.
Absolutely. And today I think is a great example of that, because we're going to have a lot of fun with bringing in everybody we are. And then later on, like I said, we have a surprise that it's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't even go into what it is, like I said, but just be ready.
To be fair, and I will tell the audience this, it's not just a surprise to the audience. It was a surprise to us. Like, literally, this surprise happened in a split second. I mean, it was like boom, happening. So it was a surprise to us. So we got to keep this surprise for the audience. It's going to be great.
It really is. So with that said, y'all, we're going to take ourselves our first break of the evening, and when we get back, well, we're going to get right on into lots of sports talk, lots of fun, and be ready, y'all. This is our first batch of guests coming up. It's going to be a good one. Here we go, y'all. You are listening to 6 years and running, 6 years of IE Sports Radio right here on your direct feed for all that is sports. The place that has been around now for 6 years, delivering you, as Marcus would say, what you want, what you need. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome in to the Neutral Zone. I'm your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and you're listening to IE Sports Radio. If you like big nasty hits, if you like slap shots straight to the neck, if you like it when the gloves hit the ice and the big boys get down, then this is your show on IE Sports Radio. This is the Neutral Zone. May our shots on goal always be true and straight to the net. If they are not, may they be followed up, redirected, or change collected. Let's go on IE Sports Radio with me, your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and this is the Neutral Zone.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is, from NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between. IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Welcome back, sports fans! Well, here we are, y'all. As you just heard, the Extra Mile there with Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Miss Caitlin Seam, as well as Mr. Michael Ward, who's jumping in lately. Big ups to, by the way, just yesterday, they had an awesome guest, another awesome guest, because that's all we have. Stingray Robb, of course, of the IndyCar 2000, Indy Pro 2000, but it's the IndyCar series, so pretty sweet, gotta say. And of course, I'm so freaking excited because on Monday, Our bookkeeping is right here. Jonathan, of course, Mr. Jonathan, Couch Crew Chief. Guess what, y'all? If you haven't seen it already, you better go look, because we're going to have freaking funny car, in my opinion, up-and-coming legend. The guy has won 2 titles, so I'm just saying, the guy one day will be remembered greatly. I would love to see him in the Hall of Fame one day. The guy is a monster, not just in his car, but as a physical person. He looks like a gosh damn linebacker, and I love it. He speaks my language in the weight room. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Hagan will be on air with us on Monday, so I'm so excited for that. One of my favorite freaking drivers ever, so I'm really excited for that. So let's get this thing going. With that said, we're going to jump on into a quick little reading here from the first member of our IE Sports Radio Hall of Fame. As a matter of fact, this guy is so unreal, man. He began to follow one of our buddies, Nico Green, by way of Canada, of course, one of the our hosts here on IE Sports Radio. And the guy, Mr. Yukio Ueda, actually used to jumped on, followed us, and started to retweet all of our stuff in Japanese. I gave him so much praise the first time for a Hall of Fame show, and the guy is the real deal. He's the first member in by way of Japan, and he's wanted to write us a little something I want to read off. So, real quick, he says here, "Dear IE Sports Radio family, happy 6-year anniversary to IE Sports Radio. Great thanks to all podcasters for your wonderful shows. I'm Yukio Ueda. I'm a genuine Japanese fan who has only once traveled to LA. I'm one of the fans of the Steelers, the Penguins, and the Pirates. Sometimes I'm asked, why are you so supportive of Pittsburgh teams? You'd ever been to Pittsburgh or have relations in Pittsburgh? My answer is no. Pirates was my first team in the MLB. That's why I had known why they called so in 1976. Of course, a little history dropping on there. So he's been a fan for a very long time. Penguins was the first team in the NHL who I knew back in, well, by the way, 2000 was when he became a fan. And then Steelers, of course, was the first Super Bowl champion team I had watched on TV in 1979. Especially, I love football so much. Steelers is my kind of team, and I love team coloring, black and yellow. Of course, coloring black and gold, black and gold. I guess, sorry guys, that was me, because I was thinking of Wiz Khalifa, my bad. But is very impressive for me. My favorite Japanese professional team, Hanshin Tigers, has also colored black and gold. I'm sorry to say that I'm not good at English, that I can't express how I support Pittsburgh teams. But simple reasons are that they were my first team, and I love their colors and their coloring. So when I started tweeting, I followed IE Sports Radio. The founder, Mr. Larry, thank you very much, sir, had welcomed me. And one of my old followers, former host of the Neutral Zone, Nico Green, has started his show. I thought the IE Sports Radio deserved to be introduced to all sports fans. So I had to begin to share the URL of IE Sports Radio. Someday I'd like to visit LA again. Maybe me, Mr. Larry. Well, that'd be great to meet you too, Mr. Yukio. He says, last but not least, I pray for all the health and happiness of the IE Sports Radio family, especially that you will not get the coronavirus. So thank you, sir. He says, sincerely yours, Yukio Ueda. So ladies and gentlemen, just gotta start things off with that. Gigantic applause. This man has been a diehard of IE Sports Radio, y'all. You have no idea. You have seen us retweet his stuff. He retweets it in Japanese. That's the freaking coolest thing ever. I'm just saying. So we got a following, and this guy right here is a big part of it. So thank you so much to Yukio, man. You deserve it, brother. So thank you, and your gold shirt will be there soon. That's right, all the way to Japan. That's how we do things, y'all. So let's get things going here with our first roundup of fans, listeners actually, and people who have been a part of this. We got some podcasters in here right now. I'm excited. Of course, there are no Jonathans up in here, so let's go ahead and get on into our guests first. Guests of the station, because we actually have a few hosts in here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you've known this guy for a long time. He's the guy who comes in here and makes me look a little smart when I'm trying to look smart saying something about golf or tennis, because, I'm not very good at that. Well, he comes in here and makes me actually seem sort of intelligent because he's so good at it. He makes me look smart. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one of the biggest diehard Dolphins fans ever. And on top of that, The guy follows so many different teams around the country. He is proof that you don't need to be from a place to love your team. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to have this guy by way of way up north in California. Gotta have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Josh Ritter. What's going on, Josh?
Hey, Larry. Thank you very much. 6 years. I'm so excited for you guys to celebrate another anniversary, and thank you so much for letting me come on the show.
Josh, it is an honor, sir. An honor to have you. You have been one of the biggest diehard Dolphins fans I think I've ever had on the show. You've had a lot of fun at primetime face-offs. Like I told you, you've made me look smart when I'm trying to say something about tennis or golf. I have no idea what I'm talking about. And let me just go ahead and say this, guys. Josh is an avid, the guy competes. Triathlons, I'm sure marathons, you name it. This guy runs everywhere. So he's more in shape than I'll ever be in my entire life, and I play pro ball. So yeah, the guy is incredible, y'all. So Josh is one of a kind. Glad to have you here, buddy. Also, we have here a dude who literally makes everybody laugh when he comes in. His team not only won the Super Bowl this year, I think he went undefeated in primetime face-offs. He was there for every single one of them with the Chiefs, and let's just say he got really feisty with pretty much everybody and ruffled some feathers. And I'll tell you what, he's definitely earned respect on this network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming here. He is, of course, interestingly enough, I don't know how the hell his Twitter account got dropped. I don't know what happened. I think he'll explain that to us momentarily. But ladies and gentlemen, welcoming any given Sunday, once again, Mr. Dave Friedman. What's going on, Dave? How you doing there, buddy?
Hey, man, good to be back on. I just want to say congratulations on 6 years on the air. That's about longer than I had a respectable hairline. So unlike my hair follicle, thank you for not falling out. The Twitter handle had to change. Some things happened with work. I got doxxed by a guy who got really upset. But make sure you try to, please, follow us at Sauced Up Sports. We are basically a mini version, I guess, of what you guys do. We try to touch on a lot of things around the league. But, of course, we're also going to talk about your Super Bowl reigning champion Chiefs, which pretty much I'm assuming you're going the direction to introduce my co-host here.
I sure am. I'm glad to have him here. Actually, this is pretty cool. It's a last-minute ad. I'm so glad it can be a part of this. Apparently, he is the co-host here of this awesome podcast. Well, actually, network you guys have up and running. Ladies and gentlemen, first, and hopefully not the last time here, because I want to have him definitely a lot during 3 and Out this year. Well, glad to have him here for his first time.
Yeah, man, I appreciated it. Yeah, it just breaking it in, and congrats on the anniversary, and I appreciate you having me on last minute, and hopefully I don't say too many dumb things.
And forgive him for sounding Canadian. It's not his fault. He's actually a hockey fan.
Oh,
so,
Lord.
Just going to have to let that one go by the wayside.
It's okay. We love hockey, eh? It's okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ryan Davis. So, glad to have him here. And, of course, we have a couple of podcasters. You're probably wondering where the hell they've been. I think everybody in IE Sports Radio is wondering where the hell they've been. But you know something? Life gets crazy. Things happen. But I'll tell you what. They are back to be talking some wrestling. And tonight, I just got to tell you guys both, I saw Fighting With My Family for the first time like 3 weeks ago, and that actually touched me. That was actually like a movie that like really kind of like, whoa, like that was pretty sweet. Like that inspired me. I had no idea. And by the way, I've never seen, what's his name? Vince Vaughn be an a-hole in any movie. So that was actually a wake-up call because he's usually a funny guy. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, they are the hosts of our wrestling show, our professional wrestling show here at IE Sports Radio, finally back. I was gonna do the finally has returned, but I think we have somebody who can do that for us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the first lady of IE Sports Radio, Miss Felicia Ruiz, and the SoCal Saint himself, Mr. Martin Sandoval. What's going on, y'all?
Hi,
Finally, the SoCal State has come back!
Lordy. I'll tell you what. I love it. I'll tell you something. Martin, it never gets old, dude. Hey, can you do me a favor, man, and bring some Vince McMahon to the party real quick?
Oh, okay. The boss, alright.
Shit.
What did I do?
Okay, I'll let you think about that one, because usually he's hilarious when he does some Vince. It's actually pretty funny. I hope we don't get sued, okay, when he does that. But anyway, so here we all are.
The XFL is bankruptcy. I'm suing everybody. There is no chance in hell the XFL is coming back for a third time.
You're cold, Barthene, because I actually was trying to play on that thing, dude. So thanks, man. Thank you so much. Thanks you for stepping all over my dreams. Thank you. So appreciate it. So with that said, everybody, welcome. We are here. So tonight's going to be kind of hilarious. By the way, just because we have those time limits set, you can stay for the next segment and the next one. That however long you want to stick around with us tonight. I'm just saying the chop off is usually about 45 minutes after. So say whichever you like, have some fun, jump in the conversation, but I'm just saying, you guys are welcome to stay. You don't have to leave at a quarter till. You really don't. So stick around, have fun. If not, hey, listeners, let's have some fun, y'all. So first and foremost, let's just get things going here. In honor of wrestling, because they are now back, I'm so glad to have them both. In honor of this, I just want to know everybody's thoughts really quick, even if you're not a wrestling fan. I want to start with the Chiefs fans first, because I just feel like Dave is like I don't know, I just feel like he's like a low-key wrestling fan, because if not, he definitely has a goddamn theatrics to be one. Dave, real quick, dude, what do you think, man? WrestleMania had no fans this year. Like, what did you think of that?
I mean, I was one of them. I don't even know when WrestleMania actually aired. The best wrestler that ever wrestled in my time period, if I'm being honest, it was Ric Flair. If I'm actually going with somebody that I really enjoy, I can't even do it because my vocal cords won't do that right now. That's what vodka does to your vocal cords, kids. Stay at home. But I was a big fan of, what was his name? He wore like the Bane mask before Bane was cool.
Vader?
What?
Vader.
Vader?
Big Van Vader. He was gigantic red fat guy.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was like Manimal or Manhunter.
Oh, Mankind!
Mankind was literally the epitome of anarchy. He was what the Joker wanted to be, without makeup and with muscles. I really like that dude a lot. When it comes to wrestling, though, I'm sorry, guys. The best thing about wrestling was the Nintendo 64 game, NWO versus WWF.
Yes!
I dominated that.
That was great, which irritates me because Felicia, you never watched NWO, you never watched WCW, which kind of like bothers me. I don't get it, but okay. So I gotta ask Josh, real quick, dude. I gotta ask you this, man. No fans for WrestleMania. What do you think, man? No fans for WrestleMania, and there may be no fans for certain sports coming up. What is your whole take on that?
Well, I feel like WrestleMania kind of needs the fans, doesn't it? Like,
yes,
the energy that comes from the fans is kind of what it is, because there's nothing really all that spontaneous about a sport where that's scripted. So you kind of need the fans to bring that juice. So I would be curious. I'm not a wrestling fan, but I'd be curious to watch it and see what it looks like without fans, because I just can't imagine that sport without fans.
I couldn't either. Mr. Ryan Davis, how about you, man? What do you think about that?
Yeah, man, I mean, like he was saying, a scripted sport without fans, like that, you know, the fans kind of create the environment, the atmosphere. It's I don't know. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but, you know, I watched it. I think Sting was probably my go-to guy growing up. But, yeah, and I mean, just like, you know, those arena sports that are held in a ring, like, you know, UFC, I mean, the guy that won said he was taking tips from the commentator because there was no fans, and like it's gonna be weird, man.
I mean that's we're going that direction. So thank you. That's a great direction to go to right now. UFC 249, because that was actually held with no gosh damn fans. But I gotta hear real quick, Jonathan. Any comment on that?
Man, I was watching wrestling the other night without fans, and I was like, man, it just does not have the same power. It doesn't have the same punch. I realize that all sports are going to have to be like that for a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. We kind of roll with it and just be thankful that we have something back.
I agree. So from the two podcasters here, I just got to hear. Felicia, we'll start with you. Come on, what's your take on this whole thing?
Oh, you know I'm ready for this. A lot's happened, definitely. Just real quick, I wanted to say once again, yes, congratulations to all of us for getting this far with such great podcasters and fans having this network after 6 years. And it just, let's just keep, I'm so happy to see this continue to roll on. Even if Martina and I have been off the air for quite some time, hey, it doesn't mean we're not watching anymore. And if you've been following me on Twitter, I've been trying to keep everybody up to speed with what's been going on in the business, in the world. And obviously it's become a total different world with wrestling because of the fact that there are no fans. And I don't know if you guys are aware of All Elite Wrestling, AEW. That actually, it's kind of sad because obviously we're diehard WWE fans. And, Martin, he's kind of, I know Martin's probably been having trouble lately too. But it's almost somewhat of a blessing in disguise that, I don't even think with the coronavirus this would have affected anything. But AEW has become a really excellent alternative to something other than WWE when they started falling by the wayside, even leading into WrestleMania. That whole controversy over even holding WrestleMania because of the safety of the wrestlers, there was so much behind it, much more than not having fans. I was very disappointed that they went ahead and went on with it because this is like the worst. That WrestleMania was you guys are right. It was the worst with no fans, especially when you have somebody like Drew McIntyre who was very likely to take that WWE Championship away from Brock Lesnar. How hard must that have been for him to see that he was with the company so long. He gets to his point to become champion, and then there's no fans. You know what I mean? It's like, and then any other ones that attained a belt that night. But AEW lately, I have to give them credit for jumping on the ball. Nobody had fans in the audience, but I think around the end of March, early April, they used their talent, their wrestlers that weren't working, and made them fans at ringside. They were holding signs. Some of them were running bets with money. It's like so they were almost like interactive fans. They took a break from that this last few weeks when Florida was shut down from doing that kind of business. So AEW moved into a studio, it was much like what WWE did with their performance center, to run a show with just the wrestlers and the staff. But because the Florida governor seemed to go ahead and deem wrestling as an essential business, everybody's been able to go back to work out there. And I don't know if you're aware of this, Larry. But the owner of the AEW, he's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's using an amphitheater right next to the Jaguars Stadium to hold these AEW events. They just had a match. Yeah, they had a match Wednesday night and the last Wednesday night, which they took almost onto the field. And it was just the greatest thing. It's fun because they're using some of their own talent as people in the as fans at ringside, and you hear the noise. Obviously, it sounds like there's people there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they've been quietly letting in a few fans, like a handful of fans, to sit and watch. And there's a big thing going on next Saturday, Double or Nothing, AEW's pay-per-view event. They're going to have something called a Stadium Stampede, where two factions of two different groups are going to wrestle around an empty football stadium. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be interesting, but you can just imagine. If you've been watching AEW lately, you would know, or at least have a feel of like the characters and stuff and what's going on. They actually have a lot of defects from WWE. They have Chris Jericho now, Jon Moxley, who was formerly known as Dean Ambrose, Matt Hardy. It's actually been pretty fun, and I've been a little more entertained by AEW than WWE lately because of the fact that AEW jumped on it to have their own talent be at ringside to play as fans. WWE really couldn't do that themselves because then they'd be looking like they're copycatting. But either way, it is a difficult time right now in wrestling. And I know everybody's trying to do their best, but then there's also wrestlers out there that are just, nervous for their health. That's why there's a lot of talent that are down at WWE. So,
listen. Can we just say this? Can we just say if wrestling, if scripted pillow fighting has been deemed an essential a service that we can work, why can't I walk into a Wendy's and get my spicy chicken nuggies? I mean, let's be
I agree.
I'm going to need to use the bathroom when I'm done, so let me go ahead and get my Frosty and dip my nuggies in them and then finish them off and then go in and, do the Lord's work and then head back out. I'm not messing with anybody. I'm not suplexing anybody at the counter, okay?
Come on, you have Vince McMahon to thank for that because I'm pretty sure he paid a hefty fine to the governor of Florida, but that's a whole other story. We're not going to get into politics.
That is something. Martin, you got anything to say about this dude?
Who, me?
No, Martine. Where the hell Martine went?
Oh, sorry.
No, we're gonna get to those chefs real quick. I'm sorry, the Chiefs. And the reason why, okay, so really quick, everybody, the reason why you hear me refer to the Chiefs as the chefs all the time, not because they cook the hell out of the AFC West, which is a part of them is my Raiders, because who remembers that really old commercial where the old man is painting the end zone? And the player walks up and he's all like, "Oh, it's really nice, but who are the chefs?" And then it like zooms out and it's like, it says chefs instead of Chiefs. So
we remember. Yeah, we remember.
I think that was hilarious. So I call them the chefs, and they are the chefs forever. So speaking of the chefs, really quick, I just gotta get to this because we're gonna get into some Dolphins talk real quick, guys. Oh, we're gonna have some fun with the Dolphins, but yeah, exactly. Josh is ready. But real quick, you two chief guys over there, you two Chief Kingdom cats. Real quick, guys, I gotta know. Since you guys have won, okay, for the first time since I wasn't even here for another 19 years. I also, just let you guys know, I've never had a Raider Super Bowl in my life, in my lifetime. I know, but I gotta.
You could revisit it on VHS if you would.
I could, and it is VHS.
Hey, I'm not gonna get a chance to talk or anything. What's going on? We're just gonna skip over me, huh?
Hey, I asked, and you were nowhere to be found. Okay.
I think he stepped away for a moment.
That is because my mic was on mute, and I just realized it just now.
Oh, funny guy. Okay, so give us your thoughts, Martine. What's going on real quick, man? Some wrestling real quick. Well, let us know. Finish up what Felicia was saying, basically.
Well, for the most part, I can agree somewhat. Larry knows this because before we went off the air, we did a lot of shows promoting this new company, All Elite Wrestling, right? AEW. The Khan family, Tony Khan and Shad Khan, the guys who own the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went into business for themselves and started their own wrestling promotion. They're probably the only people that are worth more than Vince McMahon in the wrestling business as of right now. They're actual viable competition, so to speak. For the first time since 2001, when WCW was bought out by WWE for pennies on the dollar, basically. And I was really excited for this change. It's something new, something different. But in my opinion, I think it's falling flat. I feel like it's very overhyped. It's not living up to its potential. And I feel like they're making a lot of the same mistakes that TNA Wrestling, which was another little company that tried to compete with WWE at some point during the early to mid-2000s, is doing, where they're putting titles and main events with WWE rejects. They got the world champion is Jon Moxley. I don't have a problem with that so much, but his next challenger is a guy named Brody Lee, who about 5 months ago in WWE was laying on his back, getting 3 counts constantly, losing matches all the time. So how is it that he goes from one company to another and he's this big superstar all of a sudden? That's one thing. The whole thing about the wrestlers still wrestling, I feel like they should not be wrestling right now, honestly. I know as a wrestling fan, I would be sad to see wrestling not on television, but I feel like for the safety of the wrestlers, they really should not be on television right now. That's AEW and WWE should not be running shows right now, because other wrestling promotions are not doing that right now. Only for some reason WWE and AEW are, like Felicia said, essential, quote unquote. But WWE finally had to kind of relent on you have to wrestle to. If you do not feel safe, then you do not have to compete. And one particular wrestler, one of their biggest stars in the company, a guy by the name of Roman Reigns, who is the real-life cousin of The Rock, comes from the Anoa'i family, which is very legendary in the wrestling business. They have a lot of superstars that have come out of that family. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the High Chief Peter Maivia, which is The Rock's grandfather, Yokozuna, Rikishi. These are some big Samoan wrestlers that have come out of that family. And Roman Reigns, he's very what's the word? He could potentially catch the dreaded coronavirus because of his immune deficiency due to him having leukemia. And
he's immunocompromised, and he has 2 twin babies at home. That was the other reason he chose to stay home.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So Roman Reigns actually was going to have a match at WrestleMania. He was supposed to wrestle Goldberg for the Universal Championship, and he backed out a week before WrestleMania because he just couldn't risk his life for a fucking match, which I commend him very much for choosing his safety and his family's safety over a paycheck and a championship. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, I totally get it. And I mean, former Georgia Tech defensive tackle. I mean, familiar with him. And but yeah, that's incredibly sad news. But I'll tell you what, man, this has been something. It's been quite the journey with no sports or anything really. So I completely agree though with what you said though, Martha. I don't think really anything should be going right now. We're finally getting back to certain things. Josh and I were talking with Matt White earlier in the chat room, and yeah, Bundesliga's back, which is awesome. We're going to get that back with no fans, by the way, though, starting tomorrow. We're getting NASCAR back on Sunday. So we're getting tiny things. IndyCar is going to be back on the 6th. We think, we're hoping, please God, hoping that football isn't touched. It may be. All the Cal States right now are kind of pulling out, which is pissing me off because that means that's going to be a damper in the NCAA. And I mean, everybody who knows me well knows that, I mean, I love professional football, but college is where it's at. I am a college guy. I love college football. I mean, I freaking played in the NCAA, so I love college football, and it's going to really suck. What's up,
Larry, the NFL will single-handedly cure the coronavirus if it even looks like it's going to touch $1 of their revenue, okay?
I agree.
They will put the money and get Elon Musk and Bill Gates and every last scientist on the planet and cure this thing, all right? It's not gonna, it's not gonna touch the NFL season.
I agree. So
also,
I don't think it will either.
This weekend, there's a golf skins match. I'm going to bring some golf to this with Rory McIlroy being one of the people. He's sponsored by my company that I work for, Optum, and they're doing a live golf event this Sunday too. So slowly coming back.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping that we get something.
Yeah, things are slowly coming back. I mean, real quick, Larry, sorry, but I actually got a notification in my email from WWE that they're going to be running their first event here in Texas since the coronavirus. They're actually going to be having a SmackDown here at the end of July. I don't know if that's a little too soon or not to be running in an arena, but I mean, apparently it's happening, so.
That is something.
Yeah, that's the difference with it. It all depends on the states, and us here being in California, that's going to be hard because obviously our governor is very leery to open any large gatherings, as it is.
Your governor is a lot smarter than ours, so.
Yeah. But it does make me curious, because I'm sure all you guys have seen it too. I got emails and notifications that the SoFi Stadium is going to be ready for play in September. Rams and Chargers tickets are actually on sale as of now, and so I don't know. I mean, but they do say
aren't Chargers tickets always discounted on sale?
They're free. I thought they have tickets.
They're going to have to discount those Rams jerseys. That's all I got to say.
I thought the Chargers Stadium actually paid you $5 and gave you a $10 food voucher. I thought that's how that worked.
Hey.
All 11 fans were stoked about that.
Josh,
neither one of those are my teams anyway. So.
Hey, Josh, I gotta know something. Josh, be real, man. How about that new logo and those new uniforms for the Rams? Come on, give it to us, man.
They look like Best Buy employees.
I like them a lot more than I liked the Bucks or the Falcons uniforms. I thought they were fine. I actually, the blue on blue looked really nice. They're nothing compared to those Chargers uniforms. Those Chargers uniforms are sick, and I love them. But some of the other ones, basically, they just said they were new, and you brought them out, and they look exactly the same. At least there's something different there.
So really,
do you mean Cleveland?
I thought the Rams' new uniforms look great. I think their new logo is advertising for the Chargers.
Felicia said Best Buy. That was
it just is. Let's be honest here.
I've been seeing those beams going around.
So-
Best Buy. I'll have to send you some, Larry, and something about a Best Buy rewards program with the Rams.
Please do. So with that said, we're actually at the end of our first stint. You guys are all welcome to stay once again, but if anybody does have to depart at this time, I mean, thank you so much. I don't know if any of you will, but before we do that, because I don't know if Josh has to go or not, and I gotta get this from Josh, and I want everybody to be able to hear this. Because this is a turning point. It could be. I was so reluctant of this in my mock draft, and gosh damn it, you guys pulled the trigger. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know Tua Tagovailoa is now a Dolphin. Be real, man. You suffer just like I do as a Raider fan, as a Dolphins fan, Josh. Tell us, man, what do you think went into the thoughts of that entire pick? And do you really think that he's going to be, if not immediate help, at least the first block takes you guys back on the right track? What do you think?
I'll tell you what. You know me. I'm the guy that was the first person ever to pick against his team in a face-off, in a showdown. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep it real. And I swore off buying jerseys about 8 years ago, when about the fourth jersey in a row that I bought was a player that ended up leaving our team within a year or two. I literally just bought my Tua jersey about an hour ago when the throwback became available. I am all in on this guy. I think he's a transcendent player, and I did a ton of homework on this guy during the draft process because, we all knew the Dolphins were tanked for Tua last year, and then the injuries happened, and all of us Dolphins fans dove deep into the injury history and what the injuries were and read way too many articles about all that. And you know what I came to? The man is the most talented college quarterback that I've seen come out since Peyton. And he does to the promised land. I'm buying all the stock, and I am not the guy that buys stock. I've been a fan of this team since the early 90s when Marino was starting to come down from his peak. And I've seen a lot of misery and a lot of broken promises, but I really believe in this kid. I believe in the way the Dolphins are rebuilding their team. Finally, we're not trying to be 8-8 every year. And, the thought process behind drafting him is, honestly, go big or go home. Tired of taking the easy route out, the safe route out, and being disappointed by a guy that may or may not pan out. I'd rather take him and have him be injured in 3 years and say, you know what, we gambled and lost, than pick some guy that we think might be decent and then be in the same situation we were in 5 years ago. So I'm all about it.
I just want to say, as a Chiefs fan, I actually bought a Fitzpatrick jersey because thanks for that.
Wow.
And honestly,
you know how hard it is to find a Fitzpatrick jersey in red and yellow? It's really hard, but he deserves to have one, okay? He does.
He did us a solid. But, yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes is... I don't think Tua can come close to what Patrick has done already, in his first 2 years, being a starter, I think. And I'm honestly, if you listen to anything I say on any podcast, I am not a homer whatsoever. I think Patrick Mahomes has the potential to be the greatest quarterback of all time, and I don't think Tua will ever even sniff that.
Well, you're not going to Brett Favre. Brett Favre is the greatest quarterback of all time.
I get just to get some. Hey, hold on, just to get some balance from the Chiefs side, because I know that does come. No matter what you do,
very homerish.
When you defend Mahomes and you're a Chiefs fan, it's always going to come across that way. Tua has potential to do good things for his team. The only thing that I have to argue about when what you said, he was the best candidate coming out of college since, what was that? Peyton Manning?
Manning, yeah.
I think that's a very optimistic view. I don't think that's nearly what I was able to see on the tape. But I will tell you this. I hope for your franchise because of where you guys have been with the Patriots and everything, that you're able to do good things. And I hope you're able to beat Buffalo, because let's be honest, Josh Allen looks like the kid who pumps my gas at the local But I do hope that your franchise gets some luck. The Chiefs and the Dolphins actually have some history, but to say that Tua is the best prospect coming out since Peyton Manning is kind of like saying that Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift was the best version of that entire franchise.
Okay, let me just be real. That's the only one I ever saw. That entire movie. I don't really care for those movies. I just don't. That's the only one I ever saw.
Watch the first one's fantastic.
Yeah, the first one's great. Yeah,
it's about the machine driving the car, not the machine. Not the machine. It's about the machine in the driver's seat.
Something like that.
I personally like the
So, real quick, y'all. So, Felicia, Martin, I don't know if that's going to do it for you guys tonight, but hey, if it is, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Any last comments? We'll start with Felicia first.
No, I'll hang out for a little bit just to listen and maybe chime in if I can, maybe for about 10-15 more minutes. But
Bronco fan.
Yeah, no, there's thanks again, thanks for giving us the time to speak or join in. I know, like I said, I know it's been a while since we've been on the air, but hopefully we'll get back to that as soon as we can. But it's probably not so bad since things that, like Martina said, wrestling's been down. And it is, I agree. It's kind of a difficult time. I'm on the fence of, them continuing to perform under these conditions. But the sad thing, about it is that if they, at least with WWE, if they don't work, they're getting punished for it. Some of them have lost their titles because they've been out. Some of them are completely being ignored and not even mentioned on TV. Whole nother story there. Maybe I'll get into it somewhere on social media eventually. But yeah, so again, I'm so happy that we've made it this far, and I know we're going to keep going. We have so many great people that I haven't met yet, and I hope one day, obviously, I will get a chance to meet all of you, all the other podcasters and the fans. We totally appreciate you, because obviously we would not be here without you guys. So that's all I have to say for myself for now, as one of the OGs of this network, and like you said, I call myself the first lady about IE Sports Radio. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't want to leave, and I'll still be here, whether behind social media or, like I said, as soon as we can get back on the air, we'll be there. So thanks again, guys.
Hey, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you to you, because I've literally not watched wrestling for probably 2 decades, and I learned more in you talking than I have probably my entire life when it came to wrestling.
Hey, no joke, you too.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
So, Martin, any? Anything from you, Martin? Have you gonna bounce or stay for a little bit, or anything? Any last comments, brother?
Well, I may have to bounce, unfortunately, guys, because I've been up since 11:30 last night. Because I went to work today at 1:00 in the morning and didn't get off until 2 in the afternoon.
Sounds like fun.
So, but I wanted to stay up for this. But I want to say this. I mean, to my lovely co-host, the first lady of IE Sports Radio, Felicia. It's nice to hear your voice again. I'm glad that you and your son are staying healthy. All you guys, Larry, especially you, all you guys. I'm glad everyone's staying healthy and safe. That's first and foremost. Let's keep it that way. And I wanted to announce something really quick here. I have got some new hardware. I've figured out all my connection issues, so whenever Felicia is ready and whenever Larry has a spot open for us,
awesome. Yeah,
Ring Around the Radio has returned.
Sorry about your work schedule, brother. If you lived in Alabama or Arkansas, they actually have something you can buy off the street to help you get through that. So,
very funny.
Oh, I'm sure. We have that here, too.
He's in Texas. So, real quick, Josh Ritter. I don't know if you got a bounce, brother. No, I know you got a really busy schedule, man. But you got any last comments for us here, Josh, before you bounce?
Yeah, I do need to go. My wife's banging down the door to get in here so she can work out. But just love you guys. Thank you so much for letting me pop in on this 6th anniversary special. I look forward to hearing what this surprise is going to be in the next hour and a half or so. But just happy anniversary and keep going strong. And hopefully I can pop in once or twice if all these can make a prime time game here then.
Hey, we're looking forward to having you. Thank you so much once again, Josh, man. You have been unreal, man. I mean, you literally have explained tennis and golf to me, and now I actually understand it. I love it. So thank you so much, man, for being a part of that. I hope to have you on many 3 and outs this year and have you back on the station, man, as quick as we can. So thank you, brother. Hey, we love you too, man. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. And hey, thanks for sticking around. Check out the rest of the show, man. We'll look forward to having you soon, man. Take care.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Alrighty. And he's been sitting here for like the last 15 minutes. My apologies. But ladies and gentlemen, the guy who has so much to say, but he's like yet so patient and so quiet. And wouldn't you know, he's another gosh damn Chiefs fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming in here, proud, absolutely proud podcaster, man, fellow podcaster. He is a part of us. We're gonna find him a spot pretty soon. We got some things in the works, and I'm looking forward to having him back on air soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Mr. Bobby Tzinski. What's going on, Bobby? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, and I just want to congratulate you on 6 successful years of IE Sports Radio, and I'm glad to be part of the anniversary show tonight.
Hey, we're glad to have you. Glad to have you here. So this question's for you, man. We got 2 Chiefs in here already. You guys just come in bunches, man. You guys you're ready. Like you didn't even know that they were being here. You were here.
I had no clue. I was glad to hear. I think the last time I was on the show with you, I think Dave was on the 3 and Out with me. So,
and Dave actually went off that day. It was hilarious. But yes,
yeah, he sure did. Yeah,
it was. I loved it. That was entertainment to me. That was. You want some WWE? We'll give you some WWE as a Dave style. I mean, this guy, man. But real quick, Bobby, I want to know, man. You guys, I hate you guys. But you guys just seem to get better, because seriously, man, I gotta tell you right now, and I don't give a crap, if Chiefs fans want to say what they want to say about him, you know what? You're probably not the sharpest tool in the shed, I'm sorry, but I think that your first round draft pick, Edwards-Helaire, is a immense pickup. I'm so gosh damn excited for him to go to play with Reed, to go play with Mahomes. I mean, just to be on that team. Let us know, man. Tell us a little bit about that draft pick and what you think he can bring to your team.
Well, I think the thing that I liked about the draft pick was how the Chiefs kind of leaned on Mahomes as far as saying, hey, which running back do you want us to select? I'm not for sure if you heard that story, but I think that may have been leaked out that, the Chiefs kind of went out and asked Mahomes saying, hey, which weapon do you want as far as running back? Since no one had taken a running back yet in the draft. And I think it was pretty much Mahomes' pick to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And, I honestly, with LSU being so well or so good this year, all the attention was on Burrow. Honestly, I didn't really know too much about the guy, honestly. I'm not a huge LSU fan. I didn't really watch LSU a whole lot until, really the championship game. But, when I saw the clips of him, I go, wow, this is a running back that they need. The fill in there to be the... he's a burst of, he feels like he's like another jet engine back there for the most part. So, he's going to fit in well with the offense. And I think he's kind of like that Darren Sproles type mix that I think is going to be in the Chiefs offense now.
I like that. What do you got? What do you think, fellow Chiefs fans?
Well, all right, looking at it a little bit differently. I was a proponent for taking a running back in the first round, and I actually was leaning towards a J.K. Dobbins, depending on how they were going to bring back a lot of our receiving potential. I do like the pick of Edwards-Helaire because he fits Andy Reid's model better than any of those other running backs. When we picked up Edwards-Helaire, we did not pick him up to be a workhorse running back. That's not what Andy does. That's not how he uses his guys. He does not utilize these kind of guys in between tackles. We picked up another receiver. And we picked up a receiver that's able to come out of the backfield in order to do that, while also be able to provide that contact balance, when he is running the ball, that is somewhat akin to a Kareem Hunt, which was an outstanding pick at the time until he decided to be, dumber than basically. Anyway, so we got that guy. I think what a lot of Chiefs fans are misunderstanding here is you're not going to see Edwards-Helaire running the ball a whole lot unless it's short yardage situations by the goal line. Edwards-Helaire is a hands running back that fits Andy Reid's model perfectly. Now, I'm just going to say this because I want you to picture it in your head, AFC West fan. I want you to picture this. Damian Williams and Clyde Edwards-Helaire in a two-back set, with Travis Kelce in the slot with Sammy Watkins on one side and Tyreek Hill on the other. What are you going to do to defend that? Both of our running backs at that point have proven or are showing that they can catch the ball out of the backfield. And then you have two speedsters on the outside and a guy that dominates double team coverage on the inside. This was basically a pick that solidified the fact that the Chiefs are going to attempt and probably succeed at winning again during the season using offense. And that's the smart move to make, because the entire league has moved to becoming an offensive-oriented league. Defense does not win championships. We just saw that. The Kansas City Chiefs, who were the fifth-ranked offense, not even the first, the fifth-ranked offense last year during the regular season, beat the number one-ranked defense in the Super Bowl. So I think this was a very good pick, especially with the value they got in the second round with being able to get Willie Gay Jr. in a position that we really needed and a role that we needed to fill. I'm sorry I wasn't bringing a lot of comedy on this, but when it comes down to evaluating draft picks and how they fit, people need to understand that they're not going to utilize this guy as a, running back. You're not going to see him punching tackles or doing anything like that. You're going to see him catching passes out of the flats, short curled, and probably combining with Kelsey over the middle. Andy Reid is an absolute prognosticator when it comes to being an offensive coordinator, and I look forward to seeing how they're going to utilize him in the offense.
And I also think, I think if I'm not wrong, Edwards-Helaire is number 2 odds-on favorite in Vegas to be the rookie of, the rookie of the year next year. I think that's right. You can fact check me.
He's one of the top 3. He's one of the top 3, if I remember correctly. Yes. But like I said, it's going to be a great thing. I mean, literally, we slammed people last year with a unhealthy offense. If we did not have such a deteriorated offense on so many different perspectives and levels of it. Remember, our quarterback was out for 2.5 games, was hobbled from week 1, even going up to his knee being on the side of his leg. And the only game that we lost when he came back after that knee injury was the game he came back after that knee injury against the Titans, which was not an offensive failure. The Titans ended up winning off special team gaffes. This team, with another back, doesn't matter if it was a halfback, anything, a running back that can catch passes in Reid's offense. I pity everybody in the AFC West and, quite frankly, everybody in the AFC and whatever NFC team is able to finagle their way to the big LV, because we're going to end up taking it once again. It's just what it's going to be. We're running it back. We brought 20 of 22 offensive players back, added pieces where we needed to add them. This is Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
I'll tell you what. You guys look a lot like a team a couple of years ago that I thought was a top dog, and they have let me down every year ever since. However, I think they may have, hopefully, a little upside to them this year, and we happen to have a fan of that team, the Minnesota Vikings, on the air at the moment. And I just want to tell you right...
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm already going to show myself out if that's how we're starting this conversation.
No.
We're just going to walk away.
But the thing is this defense for the first time...
I don't have a drink strong enough for that conversation.
Honestly...
I'll have one with you, Caitlin. Let's go ahead and have a drink, all right?
The Vikings have been, 3 years ago, no shit, guys, I would have been Vikings all day, freaking 12-4, 13-3, Super Bowl freaking champions, and then the defense has started to fall apart every year ever since. This year, I think there may be something happening with that team, and I honestly can say for the first time.
Defenses? Or maybe,
look, here's the thing. We had our defense on lock. The offense was a shit show.
There you go.
You bring in Kirk Cousins. What do you think's going to happen? Have you seen the TikTok? That's all I got to say. You're hitting a wall with a water bottle. That's all that there is to it. So you're like, okay, we got some finagling to do. Then what do we do in this offseason? Last year sucked. I don't want to talk about it. It hurt a little bit. But I'm like, okay, fine. Off season, here we go.
Wait, is
this explicit? Am I allowed to swear before my next sentence?
Hey, have fun, Caitlin. Have fun. Have fun.
Why the actual fuck did we get rid of our entire defense acting like this was a restructuring year? They're like, you know what? The offense is great. We're going to actually re-sign good old Cousins. He's going to be good for a couple more years. Offense, you'll be good. We're going to figure you out. Defense, on the other hand, go shoot some bricks, find another team, because we don't need you anymore. What is this?
Where's Diggs? Where's Diggs at? Where's Diggs playing? I forgot.
He went to Buffalo.
Oh, that's right.
So he's going to be wasted there as well.
Fine. I'm not. We're okay. Whatever. But I had hope. Stefanski was gone. I'm like, okay, first off, we got rid of the high school coordinator. Great. Because tell me, if you watched a single game the second half of the year that involved the Minnesota Vikings, tell me, when did you ever see any kind of play for that offense that looked like anything outside of a mid-tier high school football team?
Okay, I'll tell you what. In the playoffs last year, Kirk Cousins had his literal career throw. I can't remember exactly what stakes, what down, what distance, but he had that one career throw where he dropped one dime in one bucket and converted and got them back where they beat the Saints. It was them against the Saints.
That was a beautiful play, but was it a complicated play? No.
It was a complicated, it was a tough throw, but you know what? No, it was a tough throw. I mean, it was a back shoulder throw down the sideline over top of a defender.
Yes.
You got to give him every squirrel gets a nut kind of thing, you know.
Really, very true. And Lance Armstrong only has one. Look what he did. So it's okay.
Oh my God.
He cheated.
You know, Caitlin, we don't play each other this year during the regular season at all. And obviously you're an NFC team, but I really hope you don't make it to the Super Bowl, because if I have to end up debating against you, then Larry's going to have to push this thing out to like an hour.
It'll be the best debate ever. I'll tell you, and you know what, guys? I'm telling you right now, y'all, Caitlin's the real deal. I remember writing to her after her Vikings literally handed my Raiders their ass, like everybody else does. That in week 3, and I was like, yeah, Caitlin, good game. And she was like, it was hilarious because she was like, you can tell she wanted to glow, but she was just so respectful. Like, yeah, it was a good win. I loved it because she was so chill about it in her chat room. But you already know she won.
You're a Vikings fan. You can't get you inflated. Is all I'm saying.
Caitlin,
they slap us down right next after. What?
Can you pick an AFC team just to ride with this year so we can have a debate at some point during the regular season? Because I think that'd be
we can do that.
So real quick, y'all. Real quick,
side team.
Caitlin don't got a lot of time, y'all.
I need a mistress.
So real quick, y'all. He's like, Caitlin don't got a lot of time with us tonight. She's pretty damn busy, but I did want to bring her on because I did want to say this on air tonight. No joke, and I'm just being real as can be. This has been awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, she has literally been the rising star of IE Sports Radio the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, coming up in August, so we have a few months away until it's actually 2 years of her being on the air. One of the greatest decisions I've ever made.
On my own. I would like to amend.
She has done incredible.
I've been with the extra mile since 2 Februarys ago. Thank you very much.
Since 2 Februarys, yes. But, like I always say, one of the greatest decisions that I think I've ever made was giving Caitlin her own show, because she has freaking went off, and it has been amazing. So first and foremost, Caitlin, I just want to say thank you so much for delivering as you do every week. It's been amazing. You did an incredible job. But real quick, for the first, for a couple minutes here, because like I said, now you got to bounce. But I do want to bring you on and ask you real quick.
I can linger for a little bit. I just threaten you a little bit, put you on the hot seat.
Not
too often does a man say he's going to call me and then not call me. I'm just saying.
I have to say one thing about Caitlin. For those who don't know, the best part about Caitlin is even if her Vikings win, she's still pissed off at them. No matter what, they're just never good.
No matter
what she watches that film, and she's like, he's not doing that right. He's not doing that right. If it was up to her, she'd fire her entire team.
I would.
Probably at some point.
Emmer is still the head coach, so until it's
that's Caitlin.
Hey, would it be poaching if I asked if Caitlin would jump on our podcast at one point?
Never.
Caitlin is definitely free to do whichever Caitlin deserves, but hey, no stealing. Got that?
All right, I will.
Okay.
I can be borrowed.
She can be borrowed, but she is ours. Okay,
Then she'll be our mistress for one show. Okay,
that's right. Snacks are meant to be shared. It's okay.
I love it. So with that said, Caitlin, real quick, y'all, with almost 2 years now, tell us a little bit about this. Not What It Seems has literally gone to the top. You guys have, you personally, because the Extra Mile, you guys have done a really good job over there, and that has been competitive for the number one show every single gosh damn week, which it rightfully should. But your show is literally right there in the mix, teetering between like the top 3 nearly every single week. Tell us a little bit about what you have, created and what you think, okay, tell us your show, like, give it to us in a nutshell. For everybody who does not know, this is their first time listening, let them know what you have done. And on top of that, let us know the direction that you want it to go in.
Yeah, so it's funny because it started kind of on a joke. I think it was when I came on to talk the World Cup with you, and afterwards you were like, oh my God, there was some kind of joke about we should get an all-girls show started or something, like you need to be on air just talking or whatever, and it kind of turned into, it was like a side joke, and then it was, I don't know, a week or 2 later, and then you came at me again and we're like, hey, so what if I gave you the reins to a show? Would you want to do it? And I was like, you can't tease me on this. Like, this isn't, I like teasing, but not this time. Like, we're good here. And yeah, then you ended up being serious. And so I did some plotting. I will tell you that it took me far too long to come up with the name, because I was really determined. I was like, look, if it's going to be my own damn show, I want it to be something that fits in, but something that ties me. But I don't want to be like the Caitlin Show, because to me that's the stupidest thing. I want it to be my show, something that I can, capitalize on, but not something that's dumb. Got to be catchy. Well, that's how Not What It Seems kind of came to be, because Seam is my last name, so I got to play in on that end of it.
Oh shit, that's who you are?
Yeah.
You're Caitlin Seaman.
Close.
Well, I mean, see, did I put an extra S in there? Yeah. But no, I've seen your stuff. No, that's awesome. Hey, sorry, keep going.
No.
Shout out. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So, but also I'm a chick talking sports. And while in this day and age it's getting a little more common, it's still very much, I go toe-to-toe with people more often than I should. It's kind of entertaining. Like, and most of the time it's dudes, and you get used to it, though. I'm a bartender, too, and so I'll, make a comment about something, because you hear people in conversation, they'll ask you something, and they'll be like, oh, what do you think you know about sports? And I'm like, here we go again. All right, what do we need to discuss? Because I guarantee you mine is bigger than yours, but we can throw them out here if we need to, right in public. I'm okay with it. But it's one of those things I grew up loving. I was a big fan. The first thing I ever wanted to be as a kid was a football coach. So it kind of all started from there. I worked in NASCAR for a little while. So I've gotten to rub elbows with some really cool people. And so when I decided to do the show, when it got going, I was like, you know what? I don't want it to be something super specific. I don't want to be, while I lean towards football is my baby. Everything else is football, hockey, racing are kind of my top tiers. Just got into basketball recently, so that was kind of a fun experience I got to kind of share with the show. I got to go to a Hornets game. I live in Charlotte currently, so kind of got to do that whole thing with it too. And getting into that, baseball is one of those things that I enjoy, but I don't I'm not crazy about. So it's fun to do this balance. So I was like, I want to do a show where I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, with a beautiful little explicit tag, because my mouth is not always clean, and just have fun with it. And I feel like I've really gotten to enjoy that. It's definitely evolved even in the almost 2 years that it's come around done some different things, but I don't know. I just like to do what I feel like doing. It's a lot of fun, and I like to throw random things out there. I know I've done like jersey comparisons before because I'm like, okay, what do people? Yeah, and it's like one of those things. Like, first of all, people are going to be like, oh, you're a girl. I bet you only pick a team because of the jersey. Well, fine. Let's take this notch higher and let's actually do it, because I guarantee you they all have opinions too. I mean, look at Good Morning Football, for example, and they're all going toe-to-toe on the new Chargers jerseys and the new Rams jerseys. Man, what you talking about? It's just girls. I want to hear it. So, and I've done my top picks for jerseys, stuff like that too. You just have fun with it. But I've done some serious pieces too, so I really do enjoy having that platform to do what I want to do, so I can be fun with it, talk just regular stuff, but I can also be serious. One of my favorite pieces that I've actually done on the show was during the last off season, but I did a big piece on racism in the form of football coaches in professional leagues and stuff. And so, it's fun to be able to do the cool stuff, but it's also really nice to have a platform to speak your mind, because as everybody on this show right now and everybody who's going to come on later after I get off, we all love sports. And you're passionate about sports, but the thing is that you love it and you want to see it be better. I think that's one of the things with this coronavirus stuff, that like everybody's kind of having to take a breather. And yeah, it sucks, but I feel like it really is kind of giving everybody a chance to kind of almost refocus and kind of be like, okay, here's the importance and this is why it's important. And so I feel like we're really getting this chance to kind of take a breather and to appreciate what it is that we like about it and what we can do to make it better. And so, it's been a cool opportunity. It's a lot of fun. You really never know what you're going to get. I've been pulling out all of the stops during this kind of break of everything. I have there's so many names for it that I keep joking about, but after the credits of my show, my show literally lately lasts a half hour. It is a half-hour conversation. There's not much going on, but you'll get one of my favorite pieces that I do on the show is on this day in sports history. So I love random tidbits of information. Yep. And so, it's just, and that's the stuff, man, you throw that at people, they'll be grabbing a beer at a party and you're going to be like, do you want to know who invented the golf tee? Because I can tell you. Stuff like that. Or did you know it just happened 2 weeks ago on the show. Did you know that the creator and guy, the head startup dude of the Kentucky Derby, was the grandson of Mr. Lewis and Clark fame?
Pretty
and
sweet.
He committed suicide? What? I'm just...
I didn't know that, but I'm very curious on who created the golf tee. That is more advanced.
I talked about it on my show. I can't remember which episode.
Great stuff, but real quick.
He was actually, now I'm going to draw a blank, but he was actually a black man. He went to Harvard. He was the first African-American dentist that came out of Harvard. Fun fact. What's his name? It's,
Just remember this, kids. If you drop $200,000 for your Harvard degree, you can develop a golf team. All right?
Exactly.
Just remember that.
And you want to know why he did it? He didn't like hitting the golf ball off of the little mounds of sand that they had to carry around with them. Who knew?
Oh, see, I learned something today.
See?
Crazy,
now I gotta look up his name. It bugged the shit out of me. But yeah, but every day, my brain's just full of way too much bullshit, let's be honest. But yeah, so I do that, but literally for the last 2 months, the show's been running about a half hour. So I do this little segment where, how if you're watching a Marvel movie, there's always an end credit scene, and so you wait,
right.
And the people who get up after the movie's over and they're leaving the theater, and you're you guys are a bunch of idiots because something's about to happen. But I kind of decided to save something up. So if you ever hang through all the way through the credits of the show, I have this Caitlin After Dark moment, and I can't promise what it's going to be, but lately I've actually been reading Dr. Seuss books, because why the hell not?
Yeah, that's definitely something I would stick around for. We did the cat and the hat last week. You should change the rhyme schemes around a little bit. Instead of green eggs and ham, it can be
dude, I'm about to slam, or something like that, you know, or here's how you take a grand,
Twisted.
you know, like,
True.
exactly.
True. I've done all kinds of stuff. So, but you just gotta have fun with it, though. And again, it's one of those things where, like, if it wasn't my show, it'd be a lot harder to get away with. So I feel like, I'm taking advantage of it while I can.
It's a bit amazing.
We just do it.
You know what? Since you were talking about earlier the whole mistress thing, I'm going to need you to sit back and be a little bit of a mistress here because I'm about to have to get off this whole thing. But I do want to do this one thing. I put this together for Larry. All right? And IE Sports, this is for you guys. This is for your anniversary, okay? I went ahead and took my own personal time away from feeding my kids who are now starving. One of them doesn't have their butt wiped. They're drawing crayons on my walls, okay? I did this for you, okay? I sacrificed my whole life to put together for your 6th anniversary, Larry, a list of everything that came out the year that IE Sports came out, or potentially the year after, because I don't know exactly what month it came out. I want to do this for you, Larry, since you're always busy playing host. I want to make you the contestant in a game real quick, okay?
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we're going to do this kind of like Tinder, okay?
Oh,
so basically what I want you to do is this. I'm going to give you things that came out the year that IE Sports made their inaugural debut at 2014. I want you to swipe right if you think that it still holds its clout to this day, or swipe left if you think, nah, dog, I'm cool on that, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
You ready for this, Larry?
Let's do it.
Hey, this game is all for you, bro. This is me and you. Here we go. We'll start with the easy one, all right? AirPods. You swiping left, you swiping right.
I'm gonna go right, but I think it's left.
Well, you think AirPods? I mean, I would go right. I'd keep the AirPods around. I mean, they were using it for the draft, right? All right. The Nintendo 3DS.
Oh, God. Left.
I don't do video games. I thought maybe people did. So
Left.
I do. I plan to have a Nintendo 3DS.
All right. Well, Larry, that should tell you something.
Freaking
There you
terrible.
go. Left or right?
I'm gonna go left.
You go left. No, I'm keeping track. All right, here we go. Mac and Cheetos. Mac
Right.
and Cheetos.
Right. I'm fat.
He knew that.
You were right on the list?
I'm all in.
Fat
right.
people.
Amazon Alexa, Larry. Are you swiping left or right?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Okay, I'm gonna go left. That's creepy.
You go left? Yeah. Hey, man, they record everything too, right? All right, here's one for you. Here's a movie, John Wick.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I've never seen that.
Oh, my God, Larry.
I've never seen
I don't know if I'm going to come back on your show. You've never watched John Wick?
I've never seen it. I'm not a big movie guy.
Hey,
Pulp Fiction's the only movie I know.
Calm down, Dave.
I know. The only person who loved dogs more than John Wick was the Lord and disciple Alan Crocodile Hunter, okay? Like, let's get this right. John Wick, you know what? I'm going to do it for you.
I don't even know what that means.
You're swiping right, okay? I'm going to give you that one, okay? You know, well, let's take it down a notch. Apparently, there was a thing called Pepsi True. True. Pepsi True. Are you swiping left or right on Pepsi True?
I don't drink soda. Left.
All right, I'm okay with that because I don't need. All right, here we go. Hatchimals. Do you know what those are?
What the hell is that?
Yeah, me neither, because my 7-year-old told me to put that on there because he was looking at the list, so I don't know either. We're just going to bypass that one. The movie Captain America Winter Soldier came out in 2014. Are you swiping left or right?
That was a good movie, right?
All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and stay on the moving for just 1 second and go the Lego Movie original. Came out in 2014.
Something Taryn would like. Maybe Caitlin if she's drunk. Not me. I guess I don't know.
The only good thing about that movie is Batman. I don't want to hear it.
Wow. Apparently none of y'all involve yourself in the devil's lettuce. Okay.
Devil's lettuce.
The iPhone 6, Larry, where are you going with that?
I had one for like 6 years until I got my 11 finally. Left.
Left is to leave it behind.
Oh.
Right is you like it.
You know, I like. I'm sorry. Right.
Did you mess up this whole game? Larry?
I'm sorry.
That's why you know what, Larry? They're so abysmal.
Why are all these guys messaging me? Larry, the last thing I wanted to leave you on was this, a little bit of history. In 2014, when IE Sports made its inaugural debut, the year they came out and started doing yeoman's work, the Raiders went 3-13 and were 4th in the AFC West. So I just want to leave you with that. I felt like it was something that you needed to hear, but you did fire Dennis Allen after 4 games, so that was really good on you guys. Yeah, that was good.
The way I see it is the Raiders are good at 2 things, getting their ass kicked and eating ass. So it seems like it fits in pretty good.
Sauce and salad.
If you look at the new stadium, they're going to be really good at Roomba-ing the entire desert. So, that's something. Which fits into sucking. So,
Larry, listen, man. If it's any consolation, Derek Carr is plus 6,000 in Vegas to win the MVP.
Oh gosh! Thanks, Bobby.
He's also plus 100. He's also plus 100 to represent Maybelline in their next commercial. So I would take those odds.
You guys.
Hey, Larry, and everybody that's on here, thank you so much for having us on. Please, everybody, if you get a chance, especially Caitlin, because you're a baller, follow us at Sauced Up Sports, and everybody listening do the same. We try to do our best to be as unbiased as possible when we do Talk Chiefs. It's a fun show. You can also follow my co-host Ryan Davis over here that was with us at the Pez Choir Fool. Sound it out. There's a Z and a Q in there. You'll figure it out. Just follow Sauced Up and you'll know where it's at. But thank you so much for having us on. It's been a pleasure to be able to be a part of this 6th anniversary of IE Sports, and I loved being with you guys next season. Can't wait to get on with this next season.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, Larry, thanks for having us on, man. It was good. It was a good inaugural for me, and I'm glad you guys are still rocking and rolling. 6 years is a long time to be doing this thing. So, yeah, congrats, and have us back on, and don't go Raiders.
Get very funny. Hey, gentlemen, it has been an honor. It has been an absolute honor. Thank you guys for making this goddamn station that much better. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evenings. And hey, guess what? This year, Primetime Face-Off will count. We're going to start counting wins and losses. Be ready, y'all. Be ready. Oh, yes. So,
yeah, that's right. I can't wait to have that conversation. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
Take care, y'all.
Bye. God bless.
God bless, y'all. So with that said, real quick,
the toilet paper.
Oh God, toilet paper. So real quick, y'all. I don't even know. I think he's gonna be here for like 5 seconds. My apologies, but real quick, ladies and gentlemen, he is the founder of Set Point here on IE Sports Radio, and he is, of course, the host of Set Point. Doing great things here. The host of Set Point, the co-host of 3 Night Calls Edition with me. He's all over the defining moment all the times. He's freaking giving you Monday Night Football this year on Mixlr.com for IE Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. What's going on, Taryn?
Hey, everybody. What is going on? It's your boy, Taryn Rodriguez.
Oh, boy. Of all times, Taryn has crappy Wi-Fi.
We are overstaffed at the moment, so... yeah, I'll try.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Yeah.
Uh-oh. Taryn, we can't hear you, buddy. Sorry about that, man.
There are a lot of us in here, aren't there?
There are a lot of us. But Taryn, my bad. One more time, dude. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, real quick.
I could hear you all.
Sorry about that. We couldn't hear you that last comment, man. What was that?
I'm here to talk sports with you all, and hopefully I can talk a lot of sports in the span of maybe less than a minute, and considering we are busy at my store, but we are overstaffed as well.
Oh, wow. Well, then, hey, we got maybe a little bit. But, dude, appreciate you, man. I don't want anytime you got to bounce. But anything to add for IE Sports Radio's birthday, man?
Well, first and foremost, happy birthday to IE Sports Radio. Has anyone baked IE Sports Radio a cake?
Very funny. Very funny.
Okay, jokes aside, honestly, I am honored to be a part of the IE Sports Radio family, to have made new friends and to have learned PR and to have my own show, considering I have been co-host for a bunch of other shows, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm almost, near my 1-year anniversary with iSports Radio. I remember when I was going into the movie, I saw Larry's post saying, "Good afternoon, sir. I see you're an avid Angels fan. Would you be interested in podcasting for a baseball show?"
Mm-hmm.
And then after that movie, considering I had to shut off my phone, I basically said, "Sure, I'm taking a podcasting class. Let's do it." And then he gave me the details, all that good stuff. And then, I'm now a part of the IE Sports Radio family. I started off on Bases Loaded, then I did a little brief fast break. Then I was with Larry B for Defining Moment and still 3-and-out College Edition. And now I'm doing Set Point. So, yeah.
Hey, man, it has been an honor having you, buddy. You have done a great job with us, and thanks again, man, for all you've done. It's been a lot. You do a great job in PR. We appreciate you, man, for really helping me out and for helping all of us out with getting all the tweets out and everything. So seriously, man, appreciate that, and thank you so much, dude. So I don't want to skip you, buddy, but if I say anytime you got to bounce, that's okay. We have a ton of people to get to introduce real quick, and I got to finish my interview with Caitlin because last year, and the only reason why I'm doing that is because Caitlin last year interviewed me for our 5th year, and I wanted to flip it this year because she thought it was awesome last year that she interviewed me, the founder. So I thought it'd be awesome this year to interview like the next awesome show here, which I'm just, like I told you, I'm honored to have her a part of it. So with that said, y'all, let's go ahead and bring on everybody else real quick because there are so many of you.
Actually, Larry B, I'm actually going to bounce, but I just want to say to all the listeners out there, thank you so much for continuing your support of IE Sports Radio. We definitely appreciate you. We are by the people, for the people, or vice versa, for the people, by the people, or whatever. Well, what I'm trying to say is we definitely appreciate all of your support, even in these tough times. We love you all. If we could thank you all individually, one by one, we definitely would. But honestly, you are what keeps us going, if you know what I mean. But thank you for everything, Larry. We appreciate all your hard work. It really means the world to me and to everyone. So thank you.
Hey, thank you, buddy, and I appreciate your kind words, brother. See you soon. I'll see you next week for 3-and-out. Take care, buddy.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Definitely going to see you all. Time to go back.
All right.
Time to go back up front.
Have fun, dude. Enjoy yourself, man. Thanks again, man, for popping in. So, let's get to our giant chat room here, because we have, everybody. So, let's go ahead and get through everybody real quick and introduce you all, because we got some sports to talk, and this is going to be, oh my gosh, this is going to be all over the place. All right, so, starting things off here, bringing in, I think he's here in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest Packer ever, Caitlin. Oh, no. We have a Packer and a Viking here. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here a die-hard Packer. The guy has been on numerous 3-and-outs. I'm so glad to have him here, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back here for his 18th time, Mr. Brian Rochelle. What's going on, Brian? How you doing, man?
Hey, Larry. Good to be. I'm so glad that these have been doing this for 6 years. I've been part of it for a little less than a year, but the 3-and-out debates are awesome, and I always have a great time tonight, so thanks for that.
Hey, man, it has been an honor having you on those, man, and thank you. It has been. So we have a guy who is in this chat right now who has been a freaking fan and been all over iSports Radio since the second month of its existence. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a basketball guy all day. He's another Chief. What is with all these Chiefs today? Just kidding. Hey, we love him, man. He's a great guy, and I'm so glad he can be here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Chris Kern. What's going on, Chris? Uh-oh. Did Chris muted? Are you muted, Chris? Okay, so we gotta go first. I'll bring him in. It's all good. So I thought.
Are you sure you didn't block him, Larry, with being a Chiefs fan? I'm pretty sure you probably did that, right?
I might have. I'm sorry. Whoops. Sorry, Chris. Sorry there, Chris. We'll get him on here right now. I think he might be muted or something. But okay, and then of course a dude who has been. This guy's awesome. He's only been on the show once or twice, but he's done an incredible job, and I'm so glad that he could be a part of us here tonight. He is what the hell? We have the NFC North all day here. Glad to have him here, ladies and gentlemen, here for, I think it has to be his 3rd or 4th time, but he's been to call Primetime Face-Offs, and he is a diehard Bears fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Adam. What's going on?
Hi, Larry. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing my best, sir. How you doing, man?
It's Friday night. Managed to get the toddlers fed and bathed, getting out here in time to talk to you tonight. quarantine or not, it's always interesting when you got a 2-year-old at home. So.
I am sure. So seriously, man, it has been awesome before having you on the show. And I remember you mentioning that, that's right, man, I remember you mentioning that you were a pops of a young one there. So that's awesome, man. And that is so cool. I know you're definitely enjoying every bit of being a father. That's super, super cool, man. So awesome stuff there. And I'm glad to have you a part of this here tonight. Still trying to find where the heck Chris is and trying to get Justin in here as well. He's supposed to be a part of this tonight as well. But real quick, I do want to say this because, like I said, I don't know how much more time she's got. But real quick, let's finish up with Caitlin because I do want to just go ahead and give her time here because, ladies and gentlemen, she has freaking earned it. Caitlin, thank you. You are freaking amazing. Thank you for what you've done. Like, thank you for making this entire platform as awesome as it can possibly be. And no joke, that's what I'm telling you. I wanted to bring you on here this evening because you did the same thing for me on your show last year. So I just wanted to show the love back. You've done incredible things here. You've done great stuff here. And realistically, like I told you, one of the best things I ever did was pull the trigger on giving you your own show.
I appreciate that, Larry.
You are very welcome.
Means a lot.
It means a lot.
For the fact that I thought it was funny because I was thinking about it, every time the anniversary comes up, and it's like, while I've had my own show for almost 2 years, and I've been on the Extra Mile for 2.5, we have a very long history, you and I still remember DMing you my answers to questions you had when you had the show way back when, and it was just you, and so I was texting all my little answers that were 800 miles long.
Oh, they were awesome. I loved them. They were amazing. Your stuff was great. It was always fun, and it was an honor having you on when you were silent, just me reading your stuff, to when you became an actual guest, to you becoming a part of the Extra Mile, to having your own show and taking this mother over. So, I mean, it is just awesome, and you did an incredible job. Seriously, it's great to, kind of bring on, like I said, the next big show. It's been amazing, and you've done something that is great here. So like I said, I don't know how much longer you got with us here, but if you did want to get anything out before you're out, please let me know. And if not, well, hey, you're free to stick around.
Yeah, we'll just hop on. I know I need to go do my workout still, and losing sunshine. So, but I do want to say it has been a blast, and I think the interesting thing is that when it's such a tiny family like this, we're big, but it feels so intimate compared to everything else that you kind of deal with in the sports world. There's so much that we're going up against, but I think that the fun thing is that we've always have managed to have fun and get what we need to get out there, and we've always been true to self. And that's probably one of my favorite things about this, is that we can come on here no matter what show you do, and you are free to be you, and you aren't confined to a box. You aren't following any kind of rule. We aren't being forced to say something that we don't believe, and I think that that's really cool. I almost feel like I got spoiled because one of those, your mental goals per person, and one of mine is definitely to keep this going. I definitely would love to have Not What It Seems be something stupid crazy at some point. I feel like we all kind of have that dream. And it's one of those things that it's funny because you think about jumping onto anything else and you're like, man, I'm going to end up getting myself so restricted if I do anything outside of IE Sports Radio. And so I really just love how you gave me this platform to just grow as a person and as a podcaster and as a sports fan. I've grown over the last 2 years, and it's one of those fun things where it's again, I'm such a stupid diehard Viking fan, but once you're forced into this almost different level of, okay, yes, you're a Viking fan, and Couch Crew Chief was very correct when he called me out earlier that even when we win, I'm really pissed at my team. So every time I talk about them, I swear I'm just complaining about them more than anything else. I am the worst critic. I really am. But the fun thing is it teaches you how to look at everything else as a whole too. So on Sundays, when we have, during football season, I literally sit there with a notebook next to me, and I'm taking notes on all of the games that I'm watching as I go now. And it really kind of changed the perspective even that I had on sports. Instead of it just being like the singular one focus, like this is all I got, it really makes you kind of spread your perspective. And so I do feel like I've grown as even a sports fan, and I have that for... And all of this, I have you to thank, Larry, and you have been incredible, and I really do appreciate you just taking the chance on me. I am such a loudmouth, and I'm a lot to handle most of the time, and you still were like, here's your keys, here's the car. I don't care if you drive off a cliff, just have fun doing it. and it's been a blast, and so I do thank you. I appreciate you taking a chance on this crazy girl, and I've definitely loved every second of it so far. I appreciate it.
Well, you are very welcome, and I've loved every second of having you a part of this, and I know all of our colleagues have as well. So, Caitlin, thank you so much for stopping by tonight and being on here. Have an incredible workout. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll tell you what, everybody...
You too, guys.
Hey, everybody's in the chat room, everybody listening, check out Now What It Seems next Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. You will not be disappointed here on IE Sports Radio. Caitlin, have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to you soon.
You too, guys. Thank you so much. Have an awesome rest of your evening. Go Vikings, even when we suck. I got to stay true to my purple. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin. Can I say something real quick? It's Felicia. Hi. I just got to throw it in there that, I try to listen to your show when I can, but at the same time, I love that we have another loudmouth, strong woman like me.
Yes.
We got to stick together.
That's what's so great about this, that we're the type of women that can back our shit up when we come on here to talk about what we talk about. So Larry sure knows how to pick them, and I'm glad, I'm always glad to have more women join us on this network because, it makes it shows that we are passionate about the sport that we like, whether it's football, wrestling, anything. And I'm not just about wrestling. I do love football. I love baseball and everything, too. Larry knows. I've known him for a long time, too, and he knows where, sorry, I'm the Broncos fan and the Angels fan. But, so I just wanted to say that. I love that we have another woman like you, and I wish you the best. Your show is just obviously doing so great, and I think it's going to continue to do great for a long time to come. So
thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, us girls definitely have to stick together. And sports fans, I swear, if I run into a girl and she's like, no, I like sports. I'm like, you really like sports? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, perfect. I don't even care who you like. We're friends now.
I know. I was waiting for that for Larry to go.
Nah, Broncos are cool. I don't know nothing against Broncos.
I know, but he just secret, obviously, it means I'm his rival, but he still loves me.
I do.
I mean, that's what happens when you're a Raiders fan, though. Your little island.
By ourselves. It's so... Nobody likes us. We have no friends.
It's just the opposite. Like, Raiders, nobody likes you. And then you have, somebody, in our division where you have the Lions, and everybody just pities the Lions, so...
Oh, my gosh, you guys. But with that said, Caitlin, hey, thanks again. We appreciate you. Have a great evening. Hey, we'll see you next week, all right?
Absolutely. Thursdays, guys, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe I'll try to make it extra spicy just in case everybody rolls around.
I hope so.
Oh, hell.
It's the best flavor.
Bring tequila.
Oh, God. You would.
All right, guys. Have fun.
Take care, Caitlin.
Do everything that I would do. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, we sure will. From one Vikings fan to another, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad he can be here, even if it's just for a few minutes. I'm so glad to welcome this guy in. He's a freaking awesome dude. And he's actually a part of our success. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming in, of course, the Cribby himself. Giant, diehard Vikings fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Justin Cribb. What's going on, Justin?
What is happening, guys? I feel like I haven't had enough to drink after listening to those two for a little while. I haven't had enough booze to keep up with their intensity.
It's been something. We have everybody but a lion in here. We have a Viking. We have a Mr. Bear. Where is? I gotta know, man. Adam, where you at, man? You still there?
I'm here.
I'm here. Hey, I think we should have ourselves a primetime face-off, Adam versus Justin this year. What do you guys think?
I'm down, man.
Make it so. Make it happen.
Hey, I think that'd be a lot of fun, you guys, man. So real quick, let's talk a little bit about your guys' division. We don't got a whole bunch of time. I know you guys got that whole time structure thing. But real quick, I want to ask them a Bears question and then right into a Vikings question. I got to do this, guys. So first and foremost, then we're going to get to a Packer because Brian's in here just chilling. We got a lot of the North in here. So I'm going to play devil's advocate. I am a diehard. Oh, by the way, there's a message. Felicia, you said you got to bounce?
Yeah, I didn't want to jump in on anybody else real quick. Yeah, so just, I'm sorry. I wish I could stay, but I got to head out. Have a great rest of the show, guys. And, yeah, just watch out for me and Martina on Twitter. We will be back soon.
It sounds good. We'll see you soon, Felicia. Thank you for being a part of this and for making us awesome and for being the first lady of iTunes Radio.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
You too. Also, Bobby, you said you got to bounce too, brother?
Yeah, sure do. Yeah, just want to thank you again for having me on the show tonight, and I look forward to the three and out shows this fall. And Chiefs have plenty of primetime games to be on, so I hope to be on several of your shows coming up.
I'm hoping to have you back on as well, man. Thanks again, Bobby, man. Appreciate you for being a part of this, dude. And hey, man, thank you very much. Keep doing what you do because you're great at it, brother.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words, and happy anniversary again.
Thanks again, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Alrighty, so now it's just all of us. So it's a bunch of NFC North fans. I'm just kidding. But devil's advocate, I'm a big fan, a huge fan of Matt Patricia. I am a gigantic fan of Matt Patricia. Okay, huge fan. He's a defensive guy. I'm a defensive dude. That's all there is to it. And let's see here. I think personally, they're not going to be the greatest this year, but they're actually going to give you guys a free fight. Personally, the goddamn Packers, when they have Rodgers, he's still the guy. He's still the guy. For some reason, when he's not there, the Packers are, like, terrible. When he is there...
Rodgers is the guy when he can stay off his back.
Exactly, he is. So it's kind of funny that they're really, really, really good when he's there, and when he's not there, it's like they forget how to play football. It's weird. The Bears have the greatest defense in the world, but then their offense is just like this awkward, really weird, like, child trying to ride a bike on training wheels, and then insert Foles, a guy who could really make them that team. And then you have the Vikings. Gosh damn it, the Vikings. Best defense ever like 3 years ago, and they've been falling apart ever since. Could this be the year they revamp? So I want to hear a little bit. I want to hear like a minute or two from each of you. All right, so let's get this thing going. So you heard what I had to say about the Lions. They won't be the best this year, but gosh damn it, that defense, they're going to look a lot better. You guys better watch yourselves. All right, Adam, tell us a little bit about the Bears, man.
This is going to be a top 5 defense. I really think so. I like the moves that they made in free agency. Robert Quinn, he can take pressure off of a team. He can take pressure off of Khalil. I love that Jalen Johnson fell to 50. If nothing else came out of teams not being able to do medicals on the rookies, if Johnson fell to the Bears at 50, thank goodness. The secondary is going to be great. The defense is going to be able to get after the other quarterbacks. Can they move the ball? We have this thing about, 1920s football, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, except we have a head coach that wants to throw the ball 50 times a game. I'm not sold on Foles. I don't know. He could be good. He could be blah. I think they're going to give him every chance, despite the fact that they want to say it's a competition with Foles and Trubisky. I don't see any way that they don't put Foles out there, but he could be great. He could be bad. Both are very possible. So it could be another, 13-3 final scores a lot of times this year, which will do you great when playing bad teams, and then when you're playing good teams, you'll see what that does.
Okay, that sounds about right. Okay, so Brian, Packer time.
All right, I'm going to kind of touch on the whole division. I think everyone is going back in time a little bit. All 4 of the teams are looking to try and run the ball first to set up the pass. The the Packers, the Lions, they both drafted running backs in the second round to try and improve their running game. They're looking to do that a lot more. The Vikings with Dalvin Cook had one of the better rushing attacks in the league. And the Bears are at their best when they run the ball. So I know that they like throwing it, but that didn't work last year. So I think they're going to try and get back to running the ball as well. And all four of them have defenses that are getting younger and better as we go forward. So it's going to be interesting to watch all four teams try and use the same strategy of having a good defense and run the ball down each other's throat. It's going to be a fun year in the division.
Oh, so I'm looking forward to that as well, man. And last but never least, give it to us, Justin. Vikings football.
Well, I gotta reiterate a little bit. Welcome back, black and blue division, because that's what these teams are all trying to do right now. They're trying to do like the stereotypical NFC North type battling. They want to run the ball down the throat, and they want to stop the run. The problem for my beloved Minnesota Vikings is they basically have 6 spots on offense and defense where they legit don't know who's going to start. Who's going to be the 2 starting quarterbacks this year? Nobody really knows. We love Mike Hughes. Larry, you and I, we've been touting Mike Hughes, but I mean, when you have a guy that's been hurt his first 2 seasons, can he really be that guy that's going to go on the outside? And then having that injury history, is he going to be able to cover some of the better, Devontae Adams? Is he going to be able to go on Kenny Golladay? I don't know. And then a season where there's so much uncertainty surrounded this gosh darn pandemic, like, who's going to get acclimated quicker? This is basically, if you have a team in place, kind of like the Packers do, they should actually be better offset because everyone kind of knows the playbook. Everyone's been together for a little bit longer. But I'm not saying the Packers are going to run away with the division. It's just going to be a little harder for my beloved Vikings and the Bears and the Lions. But, I'm still touting my purple and gold till the day I'm dead and cold, man.
I'm loving it. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. A little bit of the coldest, most freezing division in the NFL is in the house tonight, and I'm loving it. You guys are awesome. So, I guess, unfortunately, guys, like I said, we have our huge surprise coming up in 10 minutes on air, so we'll kind of have to be the end of it here. However, I do want to know real quick down the line, anything you'd like to say, literally anything, I don't care what it is, a shout out, anything you want to say to anybody about your team, football, doesn't matter, whatever. You guys have like a minute or two of peace. Have fun. Adam, start us off, man.
Well, I'm a Bears fan, so I got to take a shot at the Packers. You may have Aaron Rodgers, but apparently you don't even have warm bodies to go out there and play wide receiver.
Oh. Wow, Brian!
Years and you don't draft one. That's your biggest need. What is Gutekunst thinking?
I'm a Packer fan. I can't disagree.
That's right. Jonathan
I
is
was
a
little
Packer.
disappointed on draft day. I'll give you that.
It's okay. You still got one of the top 5 quarterbacks ever.
Ever. Like, ever. So, Brian, anything, man?
Yeah, I'll touch on that. Obviously, we're a little disappointed when we picked the quarterback in the first round, but we're moving on from that. Hopeful that he'll be great. Like when I was growing up, Brett Favre started his first game when I was 4. Hopefully, this quarterback will be my Brett Favre for her when he finally starts, and she can have a great quarterback. But we're moving on from that and looking forward to the season. Like I said, that's why they're going to run the ball, because they obviously aren't going to be splitting out many wide receivers. Just Devontae and Lazard King, that'll be it.
Well, there you have it. And Justin, anything else? Anything you want to throw out there, buddy?
Well, I love the division. I love the teams. I know that the NFL is better when the Bears are good, so I pray that they can throw something together and the Bears be good and this whole division be a lot better than what it's kind of looking like on paper. But that being said, I have to give a big shout out to you, Larry B, IE Sports Radio. Happy 6th anniversary, man. That means I've been podcasting for 4 years already. And with shows like you guys, it makes it go by in a blink. You guys have a blast. The intensity and everything that you bring to the table, Bud, it's something to be super happy about, and I'm just glad I get to be a little piece of it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Like I said, he's a part of our success, guys. Justin actually came in. I met him through Phil Robinson III, and Justin became immediately. Like, he started to throw us out there. He got a ton of followers immediately when we were young, and then he was like, I'm gonna do the damn thing myself, and he did. And now he's done an amazing job with his podcast. Him and Vincent does some great things. They are awesome. They do great things. Justin, you keep doing your thing, man. I love it. I love what you do, and thank you so much for helping us so much when we were such a young podcast, man. So I just want to let you guys all know, thank you all so very much. We'll go around the table one more time. So Adam, any last things to add, buddy?
Larry, thanks for reaching out to me 6 months ago. You reached out and said, what? IE Sports, quick Google, Twitter. Is this legit? Oh my goodness, it is. Well, cool. Thank you for giving me another sports family to banter back and forth with. It's so much fun. I love it. If nothing else, it's helped out during quarantine. Thank you, everybody, quarantine-related, that's essential workers helping out there. My sister's a nurse. I know what everybody's going through. Thank you so much, and stay safe.
Hey, thank you, and hats off to your sister. She's amazing. That is awesome stuff. Anything else to add here, Brian?
Just thanks again for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to coming back on the show during the football season. I got to think that there's going to be another matchup with Jess and the 49ers. Went 0-2 last year. I'm hoping for a victory this year.
Hey, that would be awesome, man. And, of course, Justin, I know you already spoke your piece, but anything else to add, buddy?
No, everyone stay safe out there. I'm a corrections officer. I know what all these nurses have to do, and I'm obviously not on the front line as much as they are. So hats off to your sister, man, and just everyone stay safe. And Larry B, thanks again, man. You keep doing your thing, bro.
Hey, thank you guys all, man. God bless you all and your families. You are amazing, guys. I appreciate you so much, and that will be that. So, gentlemen, take care. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Peace.
Take care, guys. Alrighty, y'all. With that said, man, that was fun. Wow, this has been such a great day. Man, I'm just so excited. But in about 5 minutes, the day is going to get even crazier. What do I mean by that? You're going to have to wait and see. When we return, this may be the biggest moment ever in iSports Radio history. I'm a fan. I can't help it. Here we go, y'all. You are listening to the 6th year anniversary edition of 3 and Out of iSports Radio right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back with an awesome guest right after this.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint. along with my two co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the Premier Wrestling Team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Good day, folks. Yours truly, Nico Green here, reminding you, tune in to the Neutral Zone Hockey Talk Radio Show, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, proudly brought to you by IE Sports Radio. It's the Neutral Zone. All hockey, all the time. Take care. See you soon.
My NBA college basketball fans out there, tired of hearing about just the dramatic stuff in the basketball world, tired of hearing about what such and such wore tonight, and not about the game? Hey, leave all of that alone. Because on Wednesday nights, I got this show called Fast Break with Phil Jones here on the IE Sports Radio. And all we talk about is straight basketball, from where it comes down to the NBA, the NCAA, and even the WNBA. I don't discriminate. I give all my NBA, my basketball, whatever you want with sports, to the slam dunks, to the three-pointers, to the teardrops, to the game winners. I'm there. I'm speaking about it. I have a debate. I have my panel. I got a squad that rolls in. And we're going to be talking mad sports. We're going to be talking about the Lakers. We're going to be talking about even the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be talking about who's the top team out there in the NBA. So, tired of all the drama. Tired of all the... What did he wear today? What kind of shoes he had? Forget all that. Just come over. Fast Break with Phil Jones here on IE Sports Radio every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. So, yo, tune in.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well, then you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixlr.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the IE Sports Radio 6th year anniversary show. And as we mentioned, we have, in my opinion, the single biggest thing to happen here on IE Sports Radio. I am honored. I am trying not to be a fanboy right now, but I just can't help it. I am so honored to have the man, the myth, the legend, somebody who I have actually just been such a fan of my entire life. He has been one of my biggest inspirations all throughout life as a football player, and this man drives funny cars. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to bring on the most, in my opinion, my total opinion, the most legendary NHRA driver and one of the most legendary drivers in the history of motorsports right here on iSports Radio. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. John Force. How you doing tonight, John?
Larry, you're getting me excited talking about it. Love what I do, love NHRA racing. I want to thank you, Larry. But first, I want to say congratulations. This is the 6-year anniversary for your show, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on that. And we just got to keep working. We'll keep doing these calls and promoting NHRA drag racing and promoting your show.
Sir, just to hear you say that was the coolest thing. Thank you so much. Yes, sir, I love it. I'm telling you right now, it has just been an amazing experience watching you race over the years, watching the incredible sport that is the NHRA, and I appreciate your kind words. So, John, real quick, I know you only have about 10 minutes here with us, but I do want to go ahead and just ask a few questions. Number one thing here is, I gotta know, sir, you have been, since I was a little bitty baby, I was born in 1989, okay? I remember going to the track with the earmuffs on, okay, with my mom and dad. I'll tell you something. You have been dominant for so long. I just gotta know, John, what is it? What has kept you so dominant? What has kept you so motivated? What is it that makes the John Force tick?
You know, it's funny. I love what I do. I grew up as a kid in a little trailer park in Bell Gardens. And with 5 brothers and sisters, and I always wanted to play football. I had polio as a kid, so one leg, I ain't such a great runner. I was losing as quarterback in Bell Gardens history. 3 years as quarterback, we lost every game, 9 a season, 27. But I was always in the fight, loved the camaraderie of a team, and then to get a chance to win. And in our sport, it's men, it's women, it's a mix, and it's a fight. And then traveling over 330 miles an hour, you know, in less than 4 seconds, it's the greatest show on earth. It's like I feel like I'm in a circus with P.T. Barnum, and I've just got hooked on it, and I've been doing it. Hell, don't tell anybody. I don't want to tell Auto Club or Peak, but I'm going to Chevrolet. I'm going on almost 50 years in this sport. But I love it, and my race car does the running for me, and that's why I do it.
Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing. I'll tell you, that right there is exactly, that right there is every bit of what I can just totally hear you saying. I have seen you in so many interviews, and I'll tell you, I love it because the energy is always there, and I just feel like exactly what you said. That right there has just kept you in it. You have been such a legend in the sport. You've done so many great things. So I do want to ask this too. Last year, and I didn't even know that real fast. Let's go ahead and rewind real quick. You said you played football. That is really cool. I did not know that. The John Force played the great game of football.
Well, I started when I was young. I played Pop Warner football for years as a kid. And, you know, I loved wearing a helmet. I loved the camaraderie. And then I got in high school. I played football. And so when I got to go racing, you know, I was driving a truck, and I loved it, and I'm still driving a truck. But I got to put on that helmet, got to be with the team, and went out there, and we did it. And that was all about it. In the early days, you know, back in the early 70s, I got beat by Don Perdome, all my heroes, you know, just forever. And now I work with him. Perdome's a good friend of mine. But yeah, I'm still in the fight. But you know, it's funny. I watched a show called The Last Dance with Jordan, and you look at him, a great one that he was. But then there's Pippen, and I didn't realize that those guys, the teamwork is what made them great. And the Bulls, and I love it. I always surrounded myself with great sponsors. You know what I mean? But in the midst of all of it, I surrounded myself using the sponsors' money with great crew chiefs and great drivers like Robert Height, my daughter Brittany, my daughter Courtney, my daughter Ashley. Hell, they all drove funny cars and dragsters. Brittany won the world championship 2 years ago for Monster Energy. So what I'm saying is, I surrounded myself with good people, and that's how we win.
And that to me is exactly the recipe. And oh my gosh, that is absolutely 100% the way to win it. And that great answer, John. So I got to ask this too. This just last year, because we're going to get to Brittany in a few minutes, because I have something interesting that I just got to say, because I am a huge fan. I loved Courtney and Ashley as well. They're both awesome. They were both awesome when they raced. But I'm a Top Fuel. I love Top Fuel and I love Funny Car, both of them together. So now that, Courtney has retired, I'm, of course, just you guys, of course, as well as Robert Height, big fan of his. But last year, you did something that was just probably one of the biggest things ever in sports, and that was winning your 150th victory. John, I know you could probably imagine it like if it was yesterday, but if you can, let us know exactly how that felt to finally get to that milestone.
Well, with great people, the great Austin Coyle and Bernie Federley that led my charge for 35 years, and we got to all them wins. But there's other crew chiefs that have won, championships with me. Mike Knepp 1 year. Jimmy Prock has won with Robert. And in the middle of all this, it was just my son-in-law Daniel Hood and Brian Karate was running my car. We were struggling all year, but it was starting to come around. It was getting fast. And there we were in Seattle. I wasn't thinking about setting 150. I was actually excited because the young Austin Prock, I raced against Austin Prock. Jimmy's his dad that runs Robert's Auto Club Chevrolet. But I raced against his dad in Funny Car 45 years ago. And here this kid was right behind me at Seattle getting ready to win. And here I got a chance to win 150. I'm racing Ron Capps, a great racer. And I needed to get him beat in the speed car, right? I needed to get a win, and I wasn't even thinking about the 150. And I never do think about records. You think about it, it tends not to happen. But in the heat of this battle, I got out the other end, and everybody's yelling, and I'm jumping, and they're saying what I did. But I'm wanting to get back because Prock is a young kid, 20-some years old, first time, and he's got a shot at winning. And I got back there, and he wins the race. And his first ever in Top Fuel on the day I got my 150, driving the Montana brand. And in the middle of it, it was like I went into the stands. I freaked out. And the fans, I love them. And I had 5 guys kiss me. Not one girl kissed me. I ain't got over that yet. But it was unbelievable. They just couldn't believe this old overweight truck driver. Even though I'm on Nutrisystem now, they got me down about 12 pounds. I'm doing pretty good in this thing that we're all in the middle of this virus. We're going to get through it, though. America's going to come back. We're going to come back. Drag racing's going to come back. NASCAR's kicking off this week. And IndyCar, my son-in-law, Graham Rahal, he went to Indy yesterday. So drag racing's going to come back. And everything's going to get right again, and I believe God will make that happen.
I couldn't agree more. That is right, John. That's right. God will make it happen, and lots of great things coming up with motorsports, with the comeback, and I couldn't agree more. So, I know you're a little crunched on time, but real quick, John, I'll tell you. 2 years ago, or 3 if you count this November, when Brittany Force, your daughter, the one and only Brittany Force, won her first ever title. I'll tell you, I am so used to John Force interviews. I love it. You have so much to say. You are so animated. I get so excited listening to your interviews and watching you. But for the first time in your career, John, you were there with your wife, and you were just so emotional. You were so overcome by this amazing feat by Brittany, and I remember you turned around and you said, I can't do this. She's a great kid. She's earned it. John, what was it like that moment? I mean, you've won. You know what it's like to hoist that trophy. You know what that feels like to win 150. You know those emotions. But how was it watching your very own daughter win something so amazing?
One, I know what they've all struggled. I've seen them on fire. I've watched them roll end over end in funny cars, and the good Lord and our safety with our crew chiefs that run these cars keep us safe. And we build the technology at Force American made in Indy, but we share all the technology that's in the sport. But on that day, my wife Lori was so excited. You know, Brittany was fighting in the points. The competition, Torrance was unstoppable, and it was just a day when everything went right for Brittany, and everything went right for everybody else. But she had red lighted in the final at Vegas, or in the semis, and we thought it's over. You know what I mean? Because it's going to make her mental, because she's a young up-and-coming, even though she drove Super Comp and A-Fuel. I know the pressure that's put on you. But when she got to Pomona 2 weeks later, she was a different animal. And, man, she was monstered energy. She was riding high, and she went after them boys, and she got it done. And I broke down. I cried on the start line. You know, Sarah Slaughter, that does all my PR, that got me on this call with you. And, you know, she was so caught up. Everybody was caught up in it. Like, you know, this happened, and they knew what it meant to me. I was speechless. My wife was speechless. Monster Energy, they're with Brittany now, along with Flavor Pack. But it was just a day that all my kids winning, and now I got grandchildren. They're driving junior dragsters, Autumn and Jacob and Noah. And I'm the luckiest guy alive, so I got to stay well. I got to stay gym. I got to stay on these diets, and I've got to stay in because I'm older than dinosaurs. I gotta stay in this game to fight. But I want to say something. You know, I know you lost your dad, and I was sorry to hear that. But I know that when you talk about him taking you to the races, he's got the best seats in the house. He's up there in heaven now. He's watching old John Force do what he loves to do, and now he knows I'm crazy. So it just God bless him and you, and your passion that you have is what that'll go to the fans. It'll go to your radio listeners, because that's what it's all about, and that's what we need. We need more heart. We got so much dread every day. We got to get back in this fight, and I'm staying in it. You're in it. I can tell by the tone of your voice. Next question. I'm ready.
Honestly, John, I turned up a little bit, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. My dad and I were really close, and I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for that, because he, oh my gosh, he loved you, John. He loved you. He everything about you. He loved you, and he told me so many stories about you and how everything you've done. And like I told you, I grew up loving you the same exact way that he did. So for you to say that, especially here on air, I'm sorry to get a little choked up, but thank you for saying that, John. I really appreciate it.
I love you for having the passion. I said last night I was in my gym, and Barbra Streisand came on the TV and sang a song, The Way We Were. It was an old movie with her and I think Robert Redford. And I sat there, here I am at my age, crying, and I thought, what is wrong with you? Sitting here in the gym crying, and over this, because it brought so much memory of my wife and my kids being born, and where I come from, that trailer house in Bell Gardens. And we've been through everything. All of us were Americans. Want to thank the men and women in the military and the armed services, and the ones in the fire departments and the first responders and these hospital people. They're unbelievable. When God bless them for keeping us well. We want to pray to God that they stay healthy, and the good Lord will take care of us.
Absolutely. Oh, I couldn't agree more, and that's right. Every one of those people, they are the real heroes. They're amazing. They do so many great things, and hey, through God, all things are possible, and those people are possible to help us, and I'm so into this. I'm loving every minute of it, John, and I just thank you for saying all those awesome things, and I really appreciate it. So, last but not least, as I mentioned, John, I know I've got a whole bunch of time, but I do want to ask one more thing here. That you, I love that you're active, you stay in the gym, that is amazing, and the next generation of Force is on their way, and you know something, this year, it's a total bummer what happened to all of us with this darn virus taking us out of work and all this nonsense. Me, I have a season to play this year, hopefully they don't cancel it. I play semi-pro ball, and I'm still playing football at 31 years old, still living my dream, doing everything that I'm doing my best, just finishing up my master's, finishing up my master's. I'm about to become a college professor by the winter, and I'm going for my doctorate next year. I'm still playing football. I got this.
Wow. That's amazing.
I'm doing everything I can, John, and honestly, it's the reason and you guys are the ones that I guess I'm telling you, I look up to that. I see you, what you've done. I see your career, and I see many more of the greats who I've followed. But you have certainly been one of them on a very personal level, as I mentioned, as my father. And I think to myself, hey, when things got tough for John. I'll tell you what, all John did, very simple, was say in the interview, that's all right, we'll come back. And you know what? Every single time, John Force did exactly that. So every time the road got tough for me, I said the same exact thing of what you, sir, would say. And you know what? Here I am, staring my masters in the face, getting ready to start my doctorate and be ready to start a legacy of my own, whether if it's on the football field playing semi-pro football, whether if it's in the classroom, whether it's right here doing what I'm doing with this station, getting this thing going. I'll tell you what, thank you, sir, for the inspiration, for making me want to be so hungry and strive for everything I do.
What you got to do, they wrote a book on me I've worked on for about 4 years. I just keep coming back and winning, and it's called Crossroads. They've even finished the movie script. I want to get to it because I want to be part of it one day when I retire, but I just never retire. I love it so much I keep doing it. But the Crossroads was every time I was up against a wall that said it's over, whether it was losing major sponsors and you can't come back, or when I was put in the hospital in Dallas when I broke my arms and legs, they said, you're finished. You ain't going to be able to walk without a crutch, the rest of your life and drive a race car. And I fought that to get back. And the world, and we're at another crossroads right now with this pandemic. We've got to stand up, fight for it, protect our families, and do what it takes, and respect and keep social distancing, wearing my mask every day with Peak on it. Robert wears his with Auto Club. We look crazy. We're still advertising wearing a mask on our face, but we've got to do that, and we've got to follow the rules, and we'll be okay. We're Americans. We'll all be proud. We'll be fine.
That is right. Proud Americans we are, and I couldn't agree more, John. We're going to beat this. So I do got to ask you this, and this is, of course, final question of the night, but I got to ask, this season, of course, we know all this nonsense is going on, but as you mentioned, we're going to beat this thing. But with the season, which of course would have already been, maybe not the halfway point, but getting a little bit close to it, how optimistic are you that we're going to be back on that track very, 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 very soon, or maybe even a little bit later this year? Any word on what you think? Any word? Any thoughts of what you may think of how soon we'll get back to racing? Because I cannot wait. I'm right here in Riverside, John. I'm not that far from Pomona. I cannot wait to go to the finals this year in November. I want to see some racing. So, John, how realistic do you think that is?
But we all do. NHRA wants us back on the track. The sponsors want us back, and we want to come back. We're hungrier than ever. When you race, you get a few weeks off at Christmas and New Year's, but to be sit down like this for 2 months, it's painful to a racer because we want to work. We go to work, and we can't even go. We can go in the building, but you can't do nothing. You go in there and see if the water pipes are broke, and look at your race cars and your trophies, and you go back out of the building because you can't put people together. But we know that they're going to find a way to get us back. NHRA wants back. The sponsors want back. The racers want back. And we're going to get there. NHRA put it off till June to start us again, and now they put it off June, July till August, and the next race is supposed to open at Seattle, and that is Frank Teagues. He owns a Flavor Pack. He's going to sponsor that race this year for the first time. But it doesn't matter what anybody believes, what we think we're going to do. It's all a matter of them finding a cure, and they might not find it, but we're going to watch NASCAR and IndyCar and see if they go back. And the big thing is, if no hot spots jump up, well, then there might be a chance that we all go back. That's what it's all about. And the country wants to go back. They want to go back to work. So I can sit here and tell you what I think. They've set up to run a 16 races or something in a row. I might be announcing this and I shouldn't, but they're going to try to make up the races, and we'll see where it goes and have a countdown for the championship. And we just got to see where it goes. But if the virus stays or another wave comes, well, it could reset to next year, and I'm praying to God it doesn't. I won't last that long. I'm getting mental, and I want to get back in the seat of that race car. It's what makes me tick. So let's just keep praying that we do what we're told to do, keep our distancing from each other, and protect our families, and it will heal itself. And then we'll be back.
I couldn't agree more. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. John Forrest saying, that's right, we're going to beat this thing. And hey, you know what? That's exactly what we say here too, John. At the end of the day, for the greater good. Though we love what we do, though we're exploding with not working and with not doing our sports and with everything we do, at the end of the day, it's got to be for the greater good. We got to get everybody well. We got to make sure we find a cure. And I completely agree. The good Lord above is going to make that happen, and we're going to be just fine. We just got to keep our faith and we are good. So, John, with that said, any last comments, anything you'd like to say here on air before you're out here for the night, good sir?
Yep, Larry, I just want to say my dad's in heaven. Him and your dad's probably over there talking and saying, look at our two crazy kids. One's going to be a doctor. That's the smart one. The other one's a drag racer. I don't think he's so smart. But you know what? They're going to take care of us. They're going to watch over us. And we're going to be back. Mellow Yellow drag racing, NHRA style, before you know it.
I couldn't agree more, and you're absolutely right. I am sure that, oh my gosh, your father and my father are having a great time in the place that will always be wonderful and peaceful in heaven above. So thank you so much, John. Hang on real quick. We're going to go to break, and we'll bid adieu after that. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that, of course, Mr. John Force, legendary funny car driver in the NHRA. Thank you so much for stopping by here tonight. With that said, we're going to go to break. When we get back, we'll finish off the show here tonight, finish off our 6th-year anniversary, and that will do it. Once again, you're listening to our very special 6th-year anniversary edition of The Defining Moment, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
To the Soccer Scoreboard Show with your host, Gabriel Montoya. This is the show for soccer, football fans, or whatever you call the beautiful game. Every week, I tackle the latest and greatest news from around the soccer world. From the English Premier League, to the World Cup, to MLS, Liga MX, and more. You can listen to the Soccer Scoreboard Show and our lineup of fantastic guests every Friday at noon here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com. Part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I A in the FBS? Well then, look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hi, I'm Brian McLaughlin. In the National Football League, there are approximately 17 million total fans.
I'm Andrew Guzman. My Dallas Cowboys make up almost 9 million of those fans.
And my Seahawks have a very loyal fan base of around 4 million.
That's more than 3/4 of all the fans.
That's absolutely correct, Andrew. And on the Common Ground Football Podcast, we'll be talking about the good, bad, and ugly of these teams.
We'll have weekly picks, discuss transactions, injuries.
And we'll chat about the rest of the league, too.
Blake freaking Bortles?
Oh, yes. And Captain Andrew Luck.
Excellent. What about Fitzmagic?
Oh, let's not get carried away now.
Oh, all right then.
Join us each week at commongroundfootballpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast.
It's going to be.
Can you guys hear me? Welcome back, sports fans. Sorry about that, y'all. It's like right at the time we got a hold of Derek, man. We got a Hall of Famer in here, by the way, tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in, you have missed an incredible show so far, but you can go back and listen to it on our podcast everywhere. Y'all can't even name off the amount of places we are on. I mean, Apple, my gosh, SoundCloud. We're on YouTube. We are on Spreaker, of course. We're on Stitcher. We're on everywhere. I mean, tune in. We're everywhere. So, with that said, I just want to say one more time, a huge applause, man. John Forrest. I just got off the phone with John Forrest. I'm still losing my mind. But to everybody who heard that interview, thank you so much for staying around. I know I got a little emotional and I teared up a little bit. That was quite the interview, and I'm so happy, so blessed.
Larry, I got to interrupt here because I have to say something. First off, thank you to Sarah Slaughter. Thank you to John Forrest for making this happen. From the time that I started doing booking, I had mentioned John Forrest was my goal. That was my goal, and you told me straight out that he was your idol. So it is something that I had worked for and I had hoped for, and we had worked for. And when news broke 10 minutes before the show, I knew right off the bat this was going to be an emotional thing. It was going to be a big thing. And I am so glad that you, for your 6th anniversary show, got to speak with John Force, the John Force, a guy who, I mean, let's face it, he needs no. You don't have to say anything about him. He's so amazing. And yeah, so it's just thank you to them. And I know it's not a cake, but happy anniversary. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope like heck you remember that till the end of your days, because that to me, it was special just to hear the emotion and the passion from both of you. It was something special. It's something you don't hear much in sports anymore. We don't fangirl. We don't celebrate. We don't, we don't have teams. But in this moment, we did. And I think that's what sports needs.
Absolutely, and it was something, because you can tell. I mean, it was awesome, man. We had a moment, and that was incredible. Because I mean, it's true. I was so close to my father, and it's just. I mean, I'm such a big fan of him because of my dad, and it was just to hear him say that, and I guess it got me, man. So thank you for that. Thank you, Sarah Slaughter. Thank you to everybody who went in on the PR side of John Force, and of course, a gigantic thank you to our booking agent here, Mr. Jonathan, Couch Crew Chief. Man, thank you so much for that. That was something that I will never forget. I mean, to think, man, on this platform right here, I got to speak with, of course, the legendary John Force just a few minutes ago, and I've gotten to speak to legendary IndyCar driver 3 years ago, Mario Andretti. I mean, this goes into tonight's show, guys. Like, this is the 6th year anniversary. This is what it's all about. These are huge moments, and this really is the defining moment, and I'm just so blessed and so happy. So, with that said, let's bring in a couple guys here that I am so happy to have here for tonight, just to shoot the breeze, guys. We've got 26 minutes left. Let's have some fun here with tonight's show. So welcoming first, of course, he is an IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer. The man needs no introduction, but my gosh, this guy has his very own network he started before IE Sports Radio. He has 2 extremely successful podcasts, of course, one dedicated to the Angels, one dedicated to the Rams, and after he got inducted last year, or so let's say right before, the amount of love he got from all these people who were just jumping in to vote for him goes to show you how much of an honor he is to have on this show, and how much he means to all those people who listen to him talk on his podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming, of course, on this anniversary day, and coming up, Memorial Weekend coming up here. It is a military weekend. He, of course, served in the Navy as well, and thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Derek Paula. What's going on, Derek? How you doing, man?
Hey, I can't believe you guys give me a better welcome than I get my own shows, for crying out loud. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that at all. I'm like, geez, like, I gotta come here more often.
Hey, you have to, man. You have to. You have to
have something to cheer for too and be happy about. Especially at that Rams uniform release, I have to find something to smile on.
That's really sad. I'm sorry.
I gotta be honest.
I
gotta be honest.
I don't blame you one bit. But somebody here who may, kind of just wish they would have success like your Rams instead of a nice uniform. I'm sorry, Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, he, of course, is a diehard Giants fan. So glad to have him here. He's been on 3 and Out a lot like Mr. Derek has, and he's been all over us with Twitter. He has been a gigantic listener here, and he has contributed so much to us in our chat rooms and on Twitter. I can't say enough about this guy. He took a picture in his IE Sports Radio t-shirt in the freaking snow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the one, the only, Mr. Keith Jeans. What's going on, Keith? How you doing, man?
Thanks for having me on, Larry, and happy anniversary, guys. This is well deserved. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you, sir. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, to help us talk the last few minutes here, I'm glad to have him here. This guy, he has made his splashes throughout the internet, and I'm glad to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been with IE Sports Radio for the last, 4, almost 5 years now. I mean, he's been with us for almost the entire wave, and this guy is the real deal. He is the founder and the host of The Unfiltered Truth, and he's actually a founder of Fast Break, which is pretty cool. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got quite the following here, and I'm so glad to have him here tonight to talk some football and just talk whatever about some sports. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to bring about the one and the only Mr. Phil Jones. What's going on, Phil?
Hey, Larry, how you guys doing tonight, man?
Not anniversary passes today, man. Yo, I've been with y'all for a long time now.
It's been awesome, man, and I appreciate you being a part of this, man. So with that said, gentlemen, we're all here. We got 22 minutes to go. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's just have a little fun with this, all right? So realistically, we'll have like 15 guests so that way we can get the outros and get our Twitter handles out there and everything. But let's have a little bit of fun. The entire show has basically been like football-oriented, which is exactly kind of probably where we're going to go here. But I do want to take a little bit of dive here on into others real fast. So this is kind of fun because I'm not quite sure how much of you guys watch other sports, but let's have a little bit of fun with it. We're going to do 1 minute per. I just want to hear what you guys got to say. 1 minute per. So we're going to start with Derek. Coming up this weekend, man, we got some NASCAR coming on up here, and we also have some German Bundesliga. Derek, let us know, man. I mean, are you excited to at least have something back, or are you like, just don't mess with football and we're good? You have 1 minute, man. Let us know. What do you think?
I'll be in the yard.
All right.
Give me a choice of NASCAR and Bundesliga right now. I'm going out and working in the yard, man. I got better things to do. That's the one thing about. That's the one thing about this whole shutdown. It does really bring in perspective things that are important to you. And I used to be a guy who would watch every sport, every team, I just mainline sports into my veins, if you could, and it kind of gives you a perspective on life when you don't have it all the time. And the things that were really important to you, like for me, Rams football, Angels baseball, things like that, those become more important. The things that were kind of peripheral didn't matter. Now they don't mean a jack to me. They don't mean a thing to me. I got better things to do with my time. I got kids. I got a yard that I want to try and kill a bunch of weeds in, things like that. That's more important to me.
That makes sense. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I love all sports, motorsports, but I understand you, Derek. I totally get where you're coming from. Hey, different strokes for different folks. What about you, Keith? What do you think, man?
Given the choice between, what is it, Bundesliga? Is that soccer?
Yeah, dude, that's soccer. It's German soccer, homeboy.
Here's an answer for you.
Phil?
I'm with Derek. I'm going to be outside in the yard. We actually have some good weather up here in the Northeast finally, and I'm going to be outside probably, but if I'm going to catch anything, it'll be some golf, actually.
Hey, golf is coming back. Phil, come on, man. We're getting something back. Are you a little happy? Come on, Phil.
Man, I'm in the same boat with these gents here, and look, I'm gonna be real, man. I was like them, so focused on sports when it comes down to Maryland football, covering Wilson football, covering Raiders football, was dealing with the XFL and whatnot, and even where I was covering every day on Saturday, just realizing that it's not there. There's no sports really. A lot of stuff. Like, man, I done fixed up my yard. Dude, I'm working on cooking different things. I'm working on making like a wine cellar.
Hey, something new. Okay. So real quick, guys, listen, we don't got a whole bunch of time, but I do know something you guys...
Hold up, Larry. I got to chime in here because I am excited to take and watch some Bundesliga. And Sunday, I'm going to sit back with a cold beer, and I'm going to watch Austin Dillon win at Darlington. It's great to have sports back. For me, I have been stuck in the house for 2 months. I've been waiting for something. This is it for me. Motorsports is my number one. I am so excited to see it back. It's coming. I have a bunch of races in a very short time. You're going to see drivers at their edge. This is great. It's a great time. If you're a motorsports fan, this is about to be a whole lot of fun.
It is, and I'm excited for that. So we're going to get that right at the end. But, gentlemen, this is going to be kind of a 1, 2, 3 thing. Like I said, I hate to just be like, okay, cool, awesome, and then that's it. But like I said, we kind of pressed on time. And on top of that, I just feel like this is probably one of the most biggest staples that I just want to ask you guys. So I guess we'll just go in order. Derek, Keith, Phil, as you guys entered. And then as soon as you guys finish, well, you could, if you'd like to wish us a happy anniversary or whatever you have to say, appreciate you guys, thank you, and that'll be that. But like I said, I do know you guys got probably some things going, and that's all right. So I do got to go with the draft. So quick and dirty, Derek, tell us, man, how do you think your Rams did? What do you think?
They had a good draft. I think if you didn't really know the roster very well, you're going to look at that draft and go, okay, I don't understand. And for some people who think they know the roster well, they looked at it and said, I don't understand. But everything they did to me had a method to it. I understood completely why they went tight end, why they went running back, why they waited out on the offensive line. The offensive line was so horrible last year. So why in the world would you just not draft until late? Because all those guys that were horrible last year started coming together and started making something happen towards the end of the year. They're going to build on them. They're going to invest in the guys that they already have instead of having to try and find new places for them. So I like the draft. I think it was a B-plus draft. I think it'll pan out pretty well as long as those guys just keep pushing forward and developing players the way they have been, because the Rams are one of the best teams in the league at developing players. Hands down. Play them close.
I love it. Well, hey, great stuff there, and I honestly think you guys didn't have a bad draft at all. I think it was actually pretty good. You guys addressed what you needed to, and overall, that was pretty good stuff there. So, with that said, Derek, like I said, I know it's kind of a quick little deal, but with that said, man, anything else you'd like to add for tonight? Any shout-outs, anything you'd like to do, say on air here before you're on out of here, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to say happy anniversary. I know with my own network how stressful it can be, how difficult it is to coordinate from time to time. Oh my gosh, time. And to keep it with the energy you bring to it, it does actually matter. I mean, 6-year anniversary, it does matter. It is a small landmark and hopefully a long career that you guys are bringing forward with this network. So congratulations, best wishes to you, and I hope you keep continuing to cause hate and discontent throughout the world as you move forward.
Hey, thank you, sir. Derek, it has been an honor, sir. It has been an honor to have you a part of all of our shows, and it is an honor to have you in our Hall of Fame. Thank you. You're absolutely right. It is stressful running a network, but you know what? If anybody does it great, man, it's you, and I look up to you for that, man. You've been doing it longer than I have, and I thank you for showing me the ropes, man. Thank you, sir. Take care, and I will hope to have you back on 3 and Out very soon this season.
You got it. Take care.
All right, take care, man. Alrighty, so Keith, you're next, man. Giants draft.
I was happy with it. I was hoping when the pick came around at 4 that they would go tackle, and they did. I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect Andrew Thomas, but having seen him over the last 3 years, starting 3 straight years, even as a freshman in Georgia, I was pleased. He was definitely the safest pick out of the 4 tackles and probably the most pro-ready. So I was happy with that. And then getting Xavier McKinney in the 2nd round was just, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he was still sitting there. Like, that one to me was the steal of the draft for us. Just getting probably the best safety in the draft in the 2nd round. The kid was probably first rounder, but man, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him on the field this fall.
I can't either. You guys are going to rock and roll, man. You guys finally got a decent offensive line. Hernandez is a beast. Saquon Barkley is there. You have a young quarterback who I really think can make that move to be, the franchise, man. You guys really are coming together, and I'm just happy to finally say that you and Meg won't be making sad faces in chat rooms no more for Twitter, So,
I was actually just thinking that when you started talking, I was like, Meg's might not be too upset right now.
She might not.
We'll see what happens when September rolls around, but
we shall see. But with that said, Keith, anything you'd like to address, or you'd like to say anything, man, before you're on air for the night, man?
Nah, nothing big. I mean, happy anniversary to you and IE Sports Radio, and thanks for reaching out over the summer, just by pure chance and luck that we got involved, and I'm excited. Can't wait to see what the future holds, and I'm just happy to be, even though it's a really small part, just having to be part of it. And congratulations, much success, and let's hope this franchise continues to grow.
Hey, man, thank you so much for that, and I appreciate all of your words, and I appreciate you being on the show many times last year on 3 and Out, and we look to have you back many times this year. We need to get some football back, and I'm confident that we will, man. So with that said, Keith, thanks again, man. Thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate you being a part of this awesome show, and I appreciate you being so dang awesome, man. And by the way, that picture, I'm telling you, it never gets old. In the freezing cold t-shirt on, I'm good. So I love it, man. So Keith,
I think it was like 7 or 10 degrees out when I took that picture. Well, I had my 7-year-old holding my phone, but yeah, it was below, definitely below the freezing mark.
It looked pretty damn cold, but there you were. So, hey, Keith, thanks again, buddy. Thanks for stopping by tonight, man. I'd look to have you back very soon.
Absolutely. God bless you, man.
God bless you, but take care.
See ya.
Alrighty, and last but not least, Phil Jones. Well, we have something in common. We love the Raiders. Do they annoy us? All the time. Let us know, man. What do you think about that Raiders draft?
Overall, draft, we got a speedster that can catch the ball, that can do everything on the field. I was loving the Henry Ruggs pick. I also love Damon Arnett. I know a lot of folks were just in all, they're just like, I don't know, took early, should have took him in the second round or third round. The guy is faster than what a lot of people think. I know he had a slow 40 time. I think we're going to get a dog. We're going to get a bully out there. It reminds me a lot of Akeem Talib. It's funny. Brian Gruden said that on day 2. You go and look at Raiders grabbing Lynn Bowden Jr. I got a chance. It was a blessing to get a chance to sit down and talk with them. I know they got the virtual programs going on and whatnot, so he was able to free up some time. But just talking to him, see where his mind is at. He's going to be a real major piece to that chessboard for All-Star and John Gruden. And just going back and just looking at it overall, they draft linebacker. They got that in free agency. But literally, the Raiders, I have to give their draft an A-. They did a solid job. They did a great job.
I agree.
And especially looking to how free agency is right now, and they're just adding pieces for depth and pieces for leadership and competition. They can go to the next level. You got to go out you got to come into Vegas with a bang. And the pieces that they have right now, they can do that, and they can do it right away. It's not going to be any waiting games. It's do or die now.
I completely agree, man. And okay, I just want to bring a little bit of IE Sports Radio into this now, Phil, because, man, last week or the week before that? I don't know, but it was amazing, man. You had on Lynn Bowden Jr. from Kentucky. He's a Raider. How was that, man? How was that talking to a young cat who could possibly be making a huge name for himself starting this fall? How do you feel, man?
Man, it was exciting. One of my special guest hosts I had on the show, he's from Kentucky, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be on here with Lynn Bowden Jr." I'm like, "You gotta breathe, relax. It's gonna be all right. Just ask you questions and whatnot." Like I said, seeing where his mindset was, and knowing what he can do and what he can deliver to the table. It's not that we're going to see him being a joker. He can literally come in and say, F it, you know what? Let me be the number 2 back. And he can deliver that. Are we going to be seeing him? We're going to see this guy all over the field? Absolutely. You're going to see him everywhere, from kick returner, maybe punt returner. You're going to see him in a slot. You're going to see him in the I formation at running back behind Alec Ingold. You're going to see him single back. You're going to see him in the gun. You're going to see him in the wildcat. You're going to see him in the pistol. You're going to see him everywhere. And that's what's going to give defensive coordinators a living hell.
I agree, man. I agree. He is everywhere. And he's going to be a big part of this offense, Phil. So, with that, brother, hey, man, I just want to let you know something, dude. We have a couple minutes left here. I know Couch has a couple questions for me. But, hey, man, before you're out of here real quick, man, hey, thank you, man. No joke. You started this thing off. You were the one who introduced me to Daryl, man. You are responsible for making this thing for making a big part of it, for making it what it is. And I just want to tell you, man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for putting so much into this, so much effort, for introducing me to some great people, and for really helping this thing go continue as it has, man. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for being a huge part of this entire network, man. And once again, thanks again for all you do, brother. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Man, no problem, Larry. But Larry, I thank you, man. You gave me my first opportunity at having a platform. he gave me the first time, starting off with fast break my first year, and then so on and so forth. I was just, before all that, I was just coming on pirate radio, just being a special guest once every Friday.
That's right.
That's how far, and it pushed me to do better. Say, like, if I have this and I have the knowledge with that, let's turn this into something that I can make, successful. And, I ended up getting Phil Robinson as co-host. We ended up doing Fast Break for a second season, and we ended up creating Unfiltered Truth. And then one thing to another, we ended up getting our media credentials for NCAA and for the NFL to just like, hey, we know the stuff. We know what to say. We know what to ask on. Let's do better. Let's give people the real stuff that a lot of folks want. And a lot of people get tired of the side shows with a lot of entertainment shows, and they just want the straight up truth of what's going on. And, you gave me the idea, like, hey, be real with it. Forget the whole talking about what such and such is wearing and all that. It was, how much of an impact they're going to be for this team and this and that. What's going on? What's inside the locker room and all that.
Absolutely. And you took that and ran with it, Phil.
It started with IE Sports,
Hey, man, I appreciate that. You took that idea and you ran with it, man. You made it yours, and I appreciate the hell out of that. And you sticking around, you're doing big things, and you're still here with us, man. So I just want to say, hey, man, thank you so much. I appreciate your time tonight, man. Any last things you want to say before you're on out here for the night, brother?
Hey, man, happy anniversary, IE Sports Radio and the IE Sports Radio family. Hey, blessed to be a part of it. Hey, we got many more things coming in front of us in the future.
Yes, we do. Hey, Phil, thanks again, brother. Take care, man. God bless you and your family. Stay healthy. You and your family stay healthy, man, and we'll talk to you real soon, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care. All righty. And there you have it, Phil Jones, man. Great guy. So, okay, we got just a little bit over 5 minutes. You ready for this, Jonathan?
Yes, sir. I've been ready. Excuse me. I've been ready all night, waiting. It's just been amazing to listen to everybody because in 6 years, Larry, you've started and you've built this empire. You have. All this time, you've been building and building and building, and I'm one of the newest people that come into IE Sports Radio. Literally last year, I was still a fan. You were like, I got to get you in the Fan Hall of Fame. But so it's like after all this time, all this building, when obviously this COVID stuff happened and shut down sports, I have to know what was your initial reaction? What did you think was going to happen with this platform you had built?
Well, I'll tell you, man. By the way, that was the music we have queued. We are now under 5 minutes. But, hey, I'm looking forward to these questions, man. We're going to exit with these right here. Overall, Jonathan, quick and dirty, man, I just got to say, when that thing hit, I figured, you know what? Don't panic. Don't panic. We got to steer the ship somehow, some way. We're going to be okay. We got to be creative. We got to be creative. We got to be creative. We have to find a way to make it happen. Lo and behold, what happens? We keep things going. We keep doing what we're doing. And a man by the name of Couch Crew Chief comes in and does the rest with bringing us everything you have with all these awesome guests you brought with us, man. So I just got to tell you, man, thank you for that. And it all started with when I just told everybody to don't panic, stay positive, and look at that, man. You came along and just you helped us out so much, and our creativity has been through the roof.
Well, it's like looking at how much you had built, and I knew the passion that everybody had, and I couldn't let that go. That's why I started booking, and I don't know, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that we would have John Force on tonight?
Never. Yes. When you came on here, I thought we can actually do it. But before we had you, man, I didn't think we would ever be able to. Well, not ever, but I didn't know if we could actually achieve that without some more years under our belt. I literally didn't think that we can do that so soon. I know it's been 6 years, but realistically, it's just we weren't reaching out a lot. We were focusing a lot on the creative idea instead of actually. I'm the left brain. planner. I'm the guy who wants to try and make things happen as much as possible when it comes to creating ideas, and reaching out and everything is a great thing. It's just that something that I just haven't been very good at, and like I said, man, you came along, and once you did, I actually then started to realize that we can make it happen, and tonight it did.
Final question, round out the show. What are you looking forward to in the next 6 years?
The next 6 years, Jonathan, you know something, man? I want to make this as best as I can help create, because it's not just me. It's you. It's the entire IE Sports Radio family. It's all the listeners out there tonight. Where's that applause button? All of you who have made this possible. Every one of you. That's right. Thank you. Jonathan's been clapping for y'all too. That's right, y'all. It's all of you. Every one of you. It involves you guys too. So with me personally, I'm going to try my best to help this platform get bigger and better, and do my absolute best to help out with awesome interviews, and to make that website as best as I can, and to market these shows, and to bring on more talent. And Jonathan is the kind of guy here, ladies and gentlemen, who is going to do his best to bring on all these awesome guests, as he has, including tonight, John Forrest. This is the single biggest thing since Mario Andretti that's happened, okay? I mean, on this network, I am so happy about that. We're all going to keep trying to do our best to make things better, but we can't forget about you, the listeners out there, who have made this thing what it is, and I'm so proud of that. With that said, Jonathan, thank you for that. That was an awesome interview. That's why I say thank you, man, for being a huge part of this. And with that said, let everybody know where they can find our booking agent, the real deal, man, the guy who really makes this thing go, man. Jonathan, let them know where they can find you, brother.
If you look up Couch Crew Chief anywhere, you're going to find me. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it doesn't matter. Look up Couch Crew Chief, all one word, you'll find me.
There you go, y'all. And with that said, thank you to everybody in the chat room tonight. Marcus Los, great. My bad, dude. Trying to scramble to get you everybody I could on here tonight. The John Forrest interview just really threw me off, but I was so happy we got that together. Big shout out to you, Marcus. Los Great, of course, the founder and the host of our Combat Sports podcast. Awesome job every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Of course, big shout out to IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, Mr. Ashton, and to Davison Crooks, and to Taryn Rodriguez, and to everybody that was in the chat room tonight. I appreciate you all. As I always say, y'all, none of this would be possible without, of course, number one above all, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For nothing is possible. 6 years and running, y'all. Let's do it. Starting next week, well, year number 7 is on the way. For me, your boy Larry B, for Jonathan, for all of our listeners, we will see y'all next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.